Let's go, 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 let's go. Subversive spectrum with your host Sally Mayweather. Yeah.
Wait, few months?
Yeah. Don't be there.
Let's go.
I'm just saying you live up from Star Wars.
I was playing the hotel room.
Yeah? Yeah, so
Fire.
that's going to be a combination of like this.
Actually, our producer Alex, I should connect you guys because he does like rap.
Oh?
Does like he produces rap songs. Like I'm the remember that thing?
Yeah.
All right. We might be.
We live?
Oh yeah. We're live. Guys, what's up? What's up? Welcome to this Subversive Spectrum episode 44,000.
Yeah, feels like it.
Yeah.
We are live from not the studio today. It's
Different
again,
location.
yeah, just a little different. We're currently in Amsterdam, Netherlands.
That's what I'm told.
Beautiful.
That's what.
Yeah,
Thank God. It's just like when we got here.
yeah,
Black, cold.
yeah. Still a few clouds, but we have alcohol to you know.
Guys,
Deal with
we
that.
have such a great fucking show lined up. Not just playing. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna go over some.
let's go, 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 let's go. Let's go.
No.
Let's go. Let's go. The subversive spectrum with your host Sally Mayweather. Yeah. You already know. Let's go. Welcome to the subversive spectrum with your host.
I keep talking to the.
My mic. Yeah, let's switch mics.
All right,
We can try that.
let's do that.
But those are, you can't, it's not really nice to hold them, but.
Wait, hold on. Can you hear me now? Alex, I think you hear me.
Check 1, 2. You guys hear this?
Should we switch mics out? We have other mics to do. All right, it's working. It's working. It's
We
working.
have some audio currently.
Awesome. All right. If it's not working, our producer could call. It's a live stream. It's large. It happens. Look, joys of live stream. He's got the wine. Those wine pots are not going to stay there. Be about an hour. But yeah, what we were talking about was Justin here has some of the most beautiful words. And at least when I first heard them, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then it kind of sticks in your head a little. And you start thinking about it, you're like, actually, that kind of does add up a little bit. So we're going to get into all of that. Yeah, it's just Alex is the mic crackling. That's what it does. I'll try to talk about it for you. Maybe we should switch places. See how it goes. Yeah. But you were saying this is the world's first stock exchange?
Yes. So it's actually very poetic that we're doing this in Amsterdam, as we say, because the history of this city is particularly interesting. So it's like the financial center, 16th century, international banking center. We're moving through some of those neighborhoods that you sort of point out some of the sites, including the first stop is in Amsterdam as well. And actually, the reason for this is that they were building the big ships to go overseas, to go colonize, conquer, do bad.
Do what the
things,
Europeans do.
right? Basically, in order to send one of those ships, this was actually a private enterprise. So it cost a lot of money and a lot of risk. So they would create shares, and then we
Yes.
this to a single enterprise, and that's how they're seeing these giant ships with hundreds of people across the Atlantic Ocean, which was no small feat. Honestly, I think it's, well, some might argue this, but I think it's probably harder to cross the Atlantic Ocean the 14th century than say it would be for us to go today.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You know, it's wild.
We were actually, we were just in Belfast, at the Titanic Museum, and one of the things that I realized was like, how the fuck do these people get the idea they're having to cross this ocean in 1912? We're going to be lunatic to get on a boat and do that. Imagine when the boats were wooden. Anyway, what I think is really sort of poetic about the fact that we're passing the world's first stock exchange is that one of the things I want to talk to you guys about is tokenizing real world assets, specifically securities and assets, because I think that is one of the most disruptive tools that we as cypherpunks and crypto anarchists and crypto libertarians have at our disposal. Here's why. And I think you guys have, in America we have FINRA, which is like if you want to buy a stock or a bond, you have to go through a licensed broker, and if you sell unlicensed or unregistered securities, you go to jail for a long time. And what I have envisioned is a world in which securities and assets are traded in a permissionless fashion without oversight from regulators like FINRA or what was it, Micah? Micah here?
Yeah, Mike.
Mike, yeah. So imagine how much capital will be unleashed on the world. Great, sorry for rain now. We're just batting 1,000 here today.
Yes.
Can we go in between the raindrops, bro? So we're gonna push through. That's what we do. But I think that once we're able to trade stocks and bonds on the blockchain without having to get permission from regulators, when somebody in sub-Saharan Africa buy a dollar, a fractional amount of a security, or if you can raise money for your coffee shop, expand, you don't have to, list publicly. You can just tokenize your coffee shop and sell tokens to people. That will unleash a wave of capital in the world that was going to do such a dramatic amount of good for humanity. I think people don't really understand. Does that make sense? Am I being clear or no?
That's great.
You agree?
No, I do agree, but I think the vision is actually even bigger because I could get excited about tokens for these. That's great. Obviously, we're heading in that direction. Good. If it's done in that regard. However, in the long run, especially more from that cypherpunk perspective, I'm actually way more excited about that. And like the idea that actually instead of having these centralized companies on the blockchain, that the companies themselves, that these, let's say, applications themselves. And I think like in the far future, I think it states decentralized and like in those supplanting the role that blockchain. That's actually bigger. I don't disagree. But I'm talking about possibly the multi-generational as we go. It's beautiful bridge. Like that change could take a long time. And then don't get me wrong, yes, I'm excited about it. Yes, I'm excited about sort of whole person subsidiary effort to buy Apple stock. Yeah, it's great, right? But like ultimately the value add to me is like because you still have to say on stuff. Like if the shareholders decide right, they would define that because it's all still included. That's been like Dow's but you're not wrong. Like that's if Showguy's equities points stepping stone to get there over the next few decades.
What do you think?
Right. And the missing piece is probably privacy, right? Of course, you tokenize all these because this is a thing with crypto nowadays, like real world assets on blockchain stuff. It's all transparent, and it brings great danger with it. Transparency, right? You can see everything. Like you with stocks and bonds, we don't see both bonds. That's but why blockchain? Why the heck would we use something like blockchain is supposed to be an innovation, like a step forward, one step backwards. So civilization is privacy by being the leader.
Talk to me more about private tokenizing assets on a private blockchain because I think there's some really exciting stuff happening there. Correct.
Yeah, and not just with Zano, by the way, we compare with that. I mean, there are other blockchains that are working on similar things. I think even Cash is working on their own version of financial assets. Zano, of course, Hero, which
Big
show
fan.
that, right? Yeah. Hero is also working on smart assets, and these things are they're not perfect, right? They're far from perfect, exactly, but it's a step in the right direction, and eventually, actually, it's like one criticism of Zano's financial assets is that some people call them dumb tokens, right? Because there's no smart contracts involved, so you're somewhat limited what you can do for programmability with these tokens.
That's something I wanted to get into.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Yeah. And we are like our version of confidential assets is still like a first version. That's actually something I want to talk about today as well. We still continue to innovate these features of confidential assets, which add more programmability on top of the assets later on.
Like using like opcode style additions.
Alex,
Can
just
you,
a heads up.
okay, all right. Yeah,
Wait.
or like additional tokens.
Right, so similar to like the opcode type intelligent.
What's an opcode?
Oh, so that's like so I think there's a big design difference in philosophy, right? So I think like you can have a VM, a virtual machine, just to right, that allows like any developer in the world to develop anything, basically. That's like one of the big breakthroughs of Ethereum, let's say, what really allowed it to really rise to the way that it did. And then you have another philosophy that's like, no, the core developers can program each individual function individually as opposed to just unleashing that on the market, right? And there's trade-offs, right? It's the reason why you don't do it. It's much harder to scale, right? It's much harder to also make that. So I do appreciate the technical challenges. For me as a cypherpunk, I'll just be straight up now. I'm a bit conflicted about it all because I think that a VM is of the utmost importance, and a high throughput blockchain is of the utmost importance. But I also think privacy is of the utmost importance. And there is no blockchain that can do all of those things at once. No, which would be the first that can do all of those things?
I've always wondered. I always thought that it was just logically not possible because I can understand how you can have, although I understand there are projects that are working on this, but I can understand how you can have private because you have to have executable terms. Right? If you and I say, all right, we'll give you $5 for your shirt, I give you $5, you'll give me my shirt. We have to be able to go to someone and say, hey,
But then how's that any different from just doing a transaction on blockchain?
what do you mean?
Well, the transaction, like the blockchain is mediating the transaction, right? The blockchain is saying that's
Yeah, but how do you
blockchain
make
is
that
the
private? How do you make that private? Is the question. And I think that's the problem that I think a lot of these blockchain. I think it's the reason why we don't have private smart contracts. Am I right? What do you think?
I'm not sure if I fully understand.
How do you have a private smart contract
I mean, it can be done. Like you can have like a ZK type setup.
on a contract?
Yeah, you could like do like mixing, so you have like you don't know who the owner is of the contract, and there is no owner, and it was interacting with that contract. Then you like have different obfuscation technologies, right? Like there's confidential transactions, there's mixing,
Right.
there are like proofs, there's like e-obfuscation, there's all these different things that go into being private on blockchain. So like my belief very much is I think high throughput blockchains will be able to handle privacy because of high scalability. When you combine those two things, you get privacy.
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
What do you like using virtual privacy fees like decentralized exchanges?
Yeah, Dex is a great example.
You can do it without, for example, the Zano trade from decentralized exchange.
I used it today.
Yeah, and it's based on ionic swaps, which is like a version of atomic swaps.
Yeah, but I think what we need, I think we had market makers for a long time, and market makers are now starting to become old tech as well, to be honest. I think now it's all about COBs, central order books. And yeah, I don't think that that's possible on Zano, right? Like it's not even possible on Solano or any L1.
Right.
That's able to do this.
That's true. I mean, but you would lose a bit of your privacy with DEX like that, right? So Zano trade DEX is like peer to peer. So you actually put an offer on Zano trade, and someone else can accept that, and basically
Right.
swap
So
peer-to-peer.
we've had atomic swaps for what, 15 years now? Like, why do you think it hasn't taken off?
because it's not so user friendly.
But I mean, that problem is not solved. Right? Like atomic swaps are inherently less user friendly.
Actually, so I don't on the Zano, the Dex he's talking about, if you go into the Zano mobile wallet, and you go into the browser, you can like access the wallets. It's actually very convenient to use. And I love centralized exchanges. John McAfee told me that privacy coins and decentralized exchanges will free us from the state. So ever since he told me that, I've been a huge fan of Dexes. But
What's the name of the app? Test it out.
Zano,
Since we have Zano.
Zano,
app?
yeah. I actually, I used it in the Uber on the way over to convert truck drivers. Check it out, guys. Talk more about that. But where is this stock exchange?
We're not here yet. I'll definitely point out. I'll ask the captain in a bit to make sure to go past.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. We're definitely gonna we'll talk more about tokens. And we have a lot to cover actually. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you guys about was privacy and stablecoins, because we don't have that, or we didn't have that until very recently. But we have now the world's first. What's a good word? Immutable, decentralized.
Private stablecoin.
Yeah, the world's. I don't know of any other stablecoins that are built on a private blockchain.
Which defeats the purpose.
Right.
There have been a few attempts.
By who?
There have been a few attempts. I believe Hate Protocol did an attempt, but it had like this inflation bug.
Oh yes, yeah.
There's Zephyr Protocol, bug. But I don't know. But $3 is very because it's a privacy stablecoin built on Zano, and it's truly censorship resistant in the way that it can't, like nobody can see addresses, right? Let alone blacklist them. And blacklist freeze funds. The transactions are truly private, and their reserves are actually audited. Yeah, it's on wallet feature. So in those three particular ways, it's so much better than Tether. And being used by pretty. You can use the fork based.
Yeah. I bought exploding ice cream
Exploding ice cream.
with Freedom Dollar.
World's first.
Actually, you can see that we posted that on. I think our producer might play a clip of that soon.
Yeah.
But we can see it on my Instagram page.
All the audio world here, guys. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. One of the reasons why people use a stablecoin, right? So you have merchants who want to avoid volatility, and you have traders, basically also looking to avoid volatility. And really, the former case has been one of the greatest obstacles to retail adoption. In fact, I just saw a post today from someone who was like, what the fuck was it? Someone moved like millions of dollars in crypto for a transaction, and I guess the price of Bitcoin went down.
Okay.
So they weren't able to pay everybody out. It was a big problem, and everyone was like, this, volatility.
Yeah, as a business owner, that's tough.
Right. So all these people who use stable coins in America, they're passing the Genius and Stable, which what they do is they co-opt existing stable coins, and they make those stable coins get registered through a member of the banking cartel. So you have coins like Tether and Circuit, which are essentially now backdoor CBDCs. And my good friend Aaron Day has been sounding the alarm on this for quite some time. If you're not following Aaron Day, I really can't recommend that follow enough. I think it's just at Aaron Day on X or something like that.
I think it's at Aaron R.
At Aaron R. Day.
Aaron Day.
At Aaron R. Day. But whatever, look him up. You can follow him. So essentially, what my point is, all of these people who are in the market for stablecoins are soon going to have no option, no alternative if they want to avoid state surveillance. The only game in town is going to be freedom. I sense skepticism.
No, no, not skepticism, but just what you said earlier. I think it's important to remember that. I think for some people, just having a stable dollar value with a modest interest rate on top, I know it's not the sexiest thing in the world, but I actually think we should have one that's
What do you mean? Well,
well, because if we have stable dollar value,
yeah.
right, and then we add like an interest rate that's like slightly above what the banks pay for. Like we're literally beating the banks with their own products.
Oh,
Right?
you're kicking the shit out of
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that's important to remind people. That's actually extremely good, right?
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
And,
Yes.
and we have decentralized. They've existed for years, just not as popular after the whole unit. I think that will start coming back.
Yeah. Freedom Dollar actually has a couple of useful apps too. They have freedomdollar.com where you can swap in between Zano and Freedom Dollars. And go ahead.
Can I ask you to send me a little bit of Zano so I can test out this wallet?
Oh, you want free money? You want free money?
Yes, I want free money.
Oh.
That's where we're at in the
That's where we are. Okay.
Hook us up. Yeah, because just for the audience, I want to test this out. I'm already actually impressed with the UI because it had the same layout as
They
Phantom,
just updated.
which I like. Yeah, because I think if you're a wallet developer, copy the Phantom wallet. Great artists steal. Okay, that's a quote from Picasso. We're in good company.
Welcome to the meme lord game.
Yes.
All right, let's see. The light is obstructing. There you go. See? I'm going to send you Freedom Dollars.
And I can swap those, right?
Yeah, but he needs Zano for the swap fee.
Yeah, I need Zano.
Oh. Do you have anything to send? I got Freedom Dollars.
Sync.
But what I want to draw you guys' attention to, well, he's getting that up, he's queuing that up, is some tools available for people who want to use Freedom Dollar or Zeta. And I'm going to give you a couple of them that I love. Number one is freedomdollar.com, which allows you to swap between Freedom Dollar and Zeta effortlessly. I think you need like a Chrome browser. You have to have that like a little extension or something for the wallet. But Zano Companion, yes. That's a Chrome extension, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you do it in the mobile wallet, if you go there in the mobile wallet has a built-in browser. So you
Yes.
don't actually install anything apart from the mobile wallet. That's great. And then you can actually swap there without some extra. I also wanted to talk about using it's actually going to be first because we haven't announced this yet, but we made a deal with EFX this week, which is a really cool company from Switzerland. And they will provide a fiat on and off ramp for both Zano and Freedom Dollar. So you can actually buy and sell both Zano and Freedom Dollar with fiat money. But the cool thing is they also have this payment gateway and the point of sale system called OpenCryptoPay. And they already work with, I believe, close to, or they're nearing 100 Spar grocery stores in Switzerland where you can actually pay and all the it's integrated.
Oh, that's huge.
So hopefully in a month from here, you'll be able to do your grocery shopping in Switzerland with Zano, Freedom Dollar.
We're all moving to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are definitely going there. Like we plan to go there just to meet their team and also just to some content and buy stuff like that. Free product. So yeah, those are great. This is
This is how we went. Bottom line, this is you have to spend it to use it. Now, I'm sure because it's a fiat on an off ramp, there's loads of KYC involved. We'll have to send in a bloody school skip, am I right? But because it's it's a fiat on an off ramp, probably there's KYC.
yeah, exactly. So that's what anything that you interact with. Like if you want to acquire premium fully and that it can open around like now.
Actually, back in 2013, when I first got involved in cryptocurrency, that's how I purchased my first. Actually a website that's now legal in most countries, but back then it was legal.
Mostly legal.
Basically, it was a website called Local Bitcoins, which I'm sure you guys have heard. Yeah,
I went to jail for
case in point. And basically, you said to me, I just met with this person in a cafe and transferred a large amount of cash, Bitcoin.
the physical meetings, but I'm not allowed to cash out. Completely banned from cash out.
So at least that's a memory I had from the early days of crypto. And that's if you truly want something private, you have to either accept it for like services or like mine it or
Yeah.
like get it off some person.
Yeah. If you the best way to acquire cryptocurrency is to earn it.
Yeah.
Because there's no. It's between you and the person paying.
I mean, I think the bigger victory here is just making privacy right. Like, you don't hide that we earn money and we can just obscure it. Like, I think that's really the ultimate insight. Like we don't want to be criminals in our countries.
Right.
That's a whole feeling.
Yeah.
We're good, orderly, civilized people.
Now, if you're thinking, how the hell can I earn privacy coins, freedom dollars, and stuff like that, I'm going to help you out. That's why I'm here for you guys. Check out Zano.cash, which is another interesting tool because it's like a point of sale solution. Here we go. Live Zano transaction, guys. Yeah. We're onboarding people in the middle of the canal in Amsterdam. Come on. Zano.cash is a point of sale solution. It's literally like a cash register that you can like bring up on your cell phone or your iPad. So like you can like buy if you come to the store you buy $50 worth of shit or $49, I can pay $20. It's like that exact amount. So that's
What's the block time?
1 minute.
1 minute block. It's so slow.
we're
That's like
working on it.
nail.
We're working on
You
it.
need to bring that down to sub-second block times, man. Sub-second block times.
We're working on it.
We're getting there.
Win speed. Now.
Chop.
Working on we're rolling on stakes,
Oh, really?
which will allow us to have according to Henry 15-second blocks.
Near instant finality.
A lot better than
So you're basically
right now.
catching up to Ethereum, basically. 2016 tech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Ethereum doesn't have privacy. Solana doesn't have privacy.
Yeah.
That's a trade-off here.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have 10 or 15-second blocks than sub-second blocks.
But
Sub-second
what
blocks.
if speed is like the key critical feature that's the difference between competitive success or not? Like that's something that I feel. Because like who wants to do high frequency trading with 10-second block times, right?
Yeah, but maybe then Zano is not like made for that. Like every blockchain is made for its own purposes, right?
I disagree with that. Like fundamentally, I disagree. I think my thesis of blockchain, and maybe I'm an eternal optimist, but I'm really aiming for supporting blockchains that because then you're getting at that cycle becomes self-reinforcing. Something that's a really good form of money is also a good store of value. That's a good store of value. Money. Something that's a good money and store of value is a good platform. It all comes full circle.
But something that is very fast but doesn't have privacy. It's just a security risk. Imagine we use crypto for a day-to-day payment. You have to go to some kind of shop and you pay there, and who can actually see your transaction history now.
I don't
Where you spend
I don't
that.
disagree with I don't disagree with this. So let's move this to somewhere we actually find something.
Yeah,
Something
Well,
productive.
I mean, I totally agree with you that speed is very important, but like your first priority is speed, my first priority is privacy, and
we're nearing in. No, it's different. A different way to frame it is, for instance, do I think that Solana, for example, would achieve privacy before Zano would achieve speed and capacity at the random point? Right? Like that's the question I have to ask myself. And which problem is harder? I don't know. I think the stuff that they're doing over life object, very good stuff, engineering, perspective. So it's like I'm not sure. I'm not necessarily convinced that Zano is going to do things. And I know I'm very much of a pro Zano club, so forgive me here, guys. I hope you've
Roll off the ball. No, but Justin, do you not think that proof of stake is quick enough? Do you not like proof of stake?
No, I love those. No, actually, like Zano being work right now is kind of a deal breaker.
Hybrid.
It's hybrid, that. Yeah, okay. That's still a deal breaker. So proof of stake is essential, but I'm not talking about the consensus. I'm talking about the actual executions. That's the thing that concerns me. The game now is sub-signal. Like that's the actual.
How fast does a transaction?
The thing is, transactions are less like still think more in the context of like complex like when you're doing things that require like multiple hops. That from a UX perspective, if you have sub-second block times, you can do several hops and it still feels instant. From a user perspective, I think if you have that experience and you go back to say longer block times, you can't go back. It just feels clunky.
So. I mean, I'm not in your industry, but like,
I
well, I am, but like,
different spheres.
yeah, different spheres. But like, I guess is in like the trading world, you need that like that super fast lightning speed.
Yeah, especially if we're talking about like things like equities, we're talking about that before. Like if we actually want to compete with the Nasdaq, then yeah, then like to be serious, we need massive capacity and massive speed. One thing I'll add that I'm actually really excited about, it's a little bit of an off-topic rant, but multi-meter consensus is like the latest cutting edge things. And what means that today, so you have like a New York stock market and a London stock market, right? And they're fragmented because of latency, because that speed is so important, like you need millisecond speed, basically. That's why a lot of these companies they pull those things like next to the other 6 months. I think multi-leader architectures are so exciting because in a blockchain, you're always going to be limited to like 400 milliseconds. I mean, the speed of light is like 170, 220 milliseconds, right? Just the cost of that. So how do you get faster? The only way you get faster than that is to correlate tape. So multi-leader architecture, which means you have a validator here, a leader here, a leader here, and a leader there. You can just send your transaction to closest leader geographically, and now you've just eliminated all latency due to like geographic limitations. This is huge. I actually think that with this, we can actually create a better product than any Nasdaq stock market. It's really exciting. It's something I'm personally excited.
Yeah, that is important. As a trader, price change, so volatile, price change. Good. You don't have buy or sell fast. On that. So I think Justice probably right. Like it's a question of what comes first, privacy to fast blockchains or speed to private blockchains. Um, the scenario in my head has always been data. I think of like in my head, like standing in, like, I think of like the mall when I was growing up as a kid. Like I would be waiting in line with my mom, like just fucking sitting, waiting for buy clothes and shit. It's miserable. So it's like you don't want a retail transaction. I can't sit there like on BTC and like scan my phone, pay for my shit, and be like, all right, like guys, everybody in line, it's gonna be a half hour. Like, I'll let you know if that that's not gonna work. So you do need that instant finality, but I've always thought about it more in a retail environment.
You know, actually, I think the retail thing is kind of solved. I mean, like, if Bitcoin just scaled, have payment processes, accept zero confirmations, but it would have
We
been,
don't.
it would have been okay. So, like, so for me, this whole like retail payment thing, that's a really solved. Like, that was solved as far as I'm concerned. like 15.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, how fast does the transaction happen?
I think for the purpose, as I said, because my vision is kind of a consistent blockchain and sort of all use cases, yeah, I think you need those subsequent times. And if you want to have 6 order books, yeah, you need like no variance in terms of time.
So my thesis, and I want to hear what you guys think about this, but my thesis is always going to be fucking Satoshi said P2P cash, that's what it's got to be, P2P cash. And I actually get a little bit disappointed. Like I'm very active in Bitcoin Cash. Got a lot of followers, a lot of you guys out there in Bitcoin Cash, and I wish that that community focused more on privacy than they did on like smart contracts, VM, shit like that.
But to be pragmatic, like I think with blockchain, what you're supposed to do as a blockchain is gain as much usage as you can. Grow as fast as you can. To grow so fast that no one can stop us. I think that was always the plan. And if you look today, here is the revenue. Who is getting the most fees? Like whichever chain gets the most fees in the long run, gets the most revenue, is going to be the most incentivized, the most secure. And I think ultimately also what is best for the cryptocurrency as a whole and the cypherpunk also in the context of privacy. So we might end up with a paradoxical situation. Maybe it's not the most pure cypherpunk projects that maybe bring us the revolution, when actually it's maybe more market product minded products and cryptocurrencies that actually bring the revolution. It's by solving your problems that we actually get to change. And that's how we actually.
Okay, I know.
I actually have to really quickly jump on another.
Go, just go.
I'm loving this, but I have to just jump off. I'll be back in like 20, 30 minutes.
They're actually gonna throw them off the boat now.
Yeah, because they're going to put aboard the. Actually, I'm going to bring up the history shop. So that is ancient Dutch tradition called sea ship. That if you were some Dutch, these are big ships, right? Big iron, and they would attach it to the boat. They got from the keel to the bow, and then they would then let the person go underwater under the ship and let them run. They pull them up from the other side. That was a punishment. So you can all imagine that's what's happening to you right now. After that, I'll love you guys. Thanks a lot.
That actually works out. That's interesting because I want to get your take on this. He makes a good point. Here's the thing. Now that we have confidential layer, I guess one of the questions I have is hello. One of the questions I have is what's up, guys? I'm trying to get brewery. Oh, mine's I.
By the way, we just witnessed I'm drinking. This whole
Call the
time
cops.
where
Call the police.
I'm going to be waterboarded.
He's going with Justin on the thing. All right, but now, so like, we have blockchains that are fast. Now we have confidential layer and bridgeless, which sort of connects the two. Well, if I can trade Zano on Zano, how exactly would that work?
Yeah, and I think this topic fits with this because the interoperability can be so extremely because this is the classic blockchain level, right? No blockchain and the best price and the best distribution and the best capability and best. So why not implement that so you can actually one to another very easily? And because every blockchain has its own use cases and it can be better used for certain use cases. So this is going to have layer not from the get-go, by the way. That layer bridge is going to launch in a couple of weeks, except for the end of the month. Now, halfway July. 16th. Oh, here we go. Slap. So, and their initial product is going to be Bitcoin plus some VPN blockchains like Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. So you can bridge those to Zano, upgrade those assets to Binance Zano. Yeah. And you can do that hopefully eventually when they integrate Solana.
It's one of the best
Solana
ways.
as well. So then you can put it on and off Solana very easily. Uh, that's actually what
Hey,
what
that's not a
extends
bad
that
idea.
you
It's the night.
Zano. Like there's no blockchain that
Like,
single call, right? It's like the volume of everything. So why not have choose some pick blockchain use cases between them very easy.
What sort of usability do you see with that? Like, I can't imagine that it would be very frequent. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, me neither, because there's not really anything like right? Because once bridges they are
so that phrase that
right there. Bridges as right so we have that
those are
oh like that is the shape right
that is why
yeah but
it's not very.
like
This is awesome. It's like awesome.
then you can swap it
But it's actually good.
blockchain basically go like rapid yeah rapid like fresh habits your races so it's management. So how this process lives
But they can't access
layers of power,
just that.
check all out yourself, extensive documentation, and
But it's also about that.
video. But how this works is video, let's say how send that address that bridge bridge centralized as a federated system, so no central authority ever has access to reserve wallets. It's basically the keys is distributed like tokens, like 100 keys on nodes that they bring. So you send half BTC to that wallet. It detects it. So it means synthetic version, wrapped version. It's like almost on the blockchain, the equivalent amount of BTC. Send that to your friend, made all the time as offered, or perhaps again whenever you want, like so it's very enormous, yes, and it's going to result in more transactions on the blockchain, and that's you know transaction fees on lot of euros, transaction for so yeah, that's total value locked down becomes very quite additional. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm super excited about it because this bridge allows you to bridge your favorite asset only down. You don't have to use off your Bitcoin to benefit privately now. Your asset. Move that into reserve wallet. Synthetic version gets that represents and there you have it. And also you have of course $3 privacy stablecoin Zano like the dollar, you have the euro thing. Part of the case that we talked about, but I also want to that Zano. So hopefully you'll be able to have private euro, private USD, private Bitcoin, private Ethereum, private Solana, private everything.
Understand what we're saying, guys. This is like the enormity of what we're saying right now. I don't think most people understand it. You can now trade Bitcoin in a private way.
How it should have been. Yeah.
What the fuck are they gonna do?
Yeah.
How are they gonna track my transaction? Let's say
I can.
where I'm not a
I just
not just how. My point is, you need fungibility in money. It's a key aspect of sound money. Mises told us, banks told us, it's a off part. Look at the war on crypto. Great people are being persecuted by the government for this. Rod Spear, he is Sweden. Storms, Lexi Herzog. Not so great. And the government's going after them. These privacy need fungibility. And the confidential layer is, I mean, like what I'm saying, you can actually take your Bitcoin, wrap it up in Zano, trade it, move it to a fresh address, unwrap it, clean it. Come on now. That's okay.
Fine.
That's what I mean. It's really awesome. Through the room off privacy.
Yeah.
It's a solution. It's a solution because the government can't scratch and treat space right back here. They're already yes. No, it's like it's white.
Furthermore, the state of the
You can't ask me to be yes. So white folks. And at that point, you're just back into Alex, can we take a quick break and we'll do like 2 minutes? And what we'll do is we'll take a fast break. So back. See if that works. Well, I have my mind. Yeah, that's everything.
Mr. Mayweather, come on in. So, Mr. Mayweather, I believe you want to make a deposit?
That's correct.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
guys.
I just need you to sign here, and we're ready to go.
I don't need it.
Okay.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange faced up to 175 years in prison.
Sent in tanks and men with guns, and they set the entire place on fire.
No children were killed.
Actually, I think I'm going to hold off for now. This is great, dude. I'm up over 100%. And I'm not paying for Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio, Israel's wars, or any of the welfare.
Are you kidding me?
No, I swear to God. Check this out.
No way. You're making a killing. You know what, Sal? You gotta show me how you did that.
It's easy. I did it with Zano, a completely private, open-source cryptocurrency that actually scales and enables tokenized assets, aliases, and has a built-in private messenger app, DEX, and ionic swaps.
Here's to financial freedom.
Cheers.
Sláinte.
This is Freedom Dollar, FUSD, the world's first privacy-focused stablecoin built on the Zano blockchain. Unlike traditional stablecoins, FUSD is decentralized, censorship-resistant, and private by default. Each FUSD is over-collateralized with Zano and pegged to the US dollar using a decentralized algorithm. There's no CEO, no company, no central authority. FUSD is governed entirely by open-source code and community consensus. Anyone can run a market-making node to help maintain the peg and further decentralize the network. All collateral and peg data are transparently published and verifiable at freedomdollar.com. CBDCs and corporate stablecoins can be frozen, tracked, and censored. FUSD can't. Use FUSD to spend, save, or transfer stable value without giving up your freedom. Freedom Dollar, private, stable, unapologetically unbanked. freedomdollar.com.
Hey, give me a flop back.
Nee, wij hebben een flap.
Alleen een flop. Ja.
Close anything else.
All right, guys. We are back. Can they hear this?
So far, so good?
Absoluut.
Ik ga zo de oude staat in.
All right, guys. That's back. It's fucking awesome. I know. This is great. Just believe we actually just done a week in Ireland.
That's
Try squats. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna turn this thing.
that's the cheap.
Yeah.
For the last experience. But here now.
We're actually traveling to Belgium tomorrow. Crazy.
Hey,
Content.
feels like
What we try to do here. So I should finish literally, but basically, what we do here, guys, is on Super Spectrum every Wednesday, usually 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today's obviously a different case. What we do is we try to come on here out of a certain age. That, of course, been worse. So I try to talk about solutions. Things like Zano and $1 and Zano.cash, confidential layer, and et cetera, et cetera. So I figured Adam can understand this concept. And he's Fred.
an idiot.
No, he's not an idiot. He doesn't. He's new to this idea. And you guys understand. He. So that's what we do every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, of course, is a different kind of stream. We have to be in Amsterdam on a sloop.
Keep doing this stuff.
Sloop. That's Quentin is here. He's the marketing director for Zano. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about. I'm actually wildly excited. Politician. Never said so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sit back. Let's see. I think you're really good. Back. Okay. Guys, but yeah, we're still live.
Yeah, on a pole. Yeah, like probably still less problem than the studio.
Just the early days of the show.
Yeah. Should have great confidence. Subversive spectrum.
Outtakes. But anyway, what I wanted to get to my as a shipboard, as a import someone. I asked me, yeah, I'm thinking, you know, before Elon bought Twitter, I was getting thrown off because I posted scam that. But now I have 5 NFTs that won't change. Tell me about NFTs on Sam. Tell me about Obscura. Tell me everything possible you can about this. But I am like wildly interested. And all right, let's just you introduce it because there's more I want to talk about. I have so much more to talk about. Fucking guy took off today, bro.
After something.
Now Rudy's chilling in space.
He's lost.
Yeah,
He's
really.
lost.
No, he's in Spain with this girl.
Okay.
He's like on a beach having a time.
Yeah, but he's usually
He's a good man. If you're out there watching,
yeah, but so Obscura art. So it helps you basically what it does. So you can create your information assets on the bottom. And so with NFTs, the difference is just that there's one, right? So I want basically oh, it's my image by elegant metadata section. So, and this way, private and like, see where you can actually create but it's
like thunder, bro. It's like thunder. So it's more than just. We'll get into that. It's more than just images and pictures, am I right?
absolutely. So that's just one of the most, I would say, silly things. I mean, like everyone age, yeah, somehow that's pretty common. Yes, you can also tokenize content, right? So your assets and that as well.
That's what really fucking excites me. Tokenization. I'm calling it a Cambrian explosion. So I met
like that.
I met actually somebody through Roger, Gabriel Cardone, who was he used to be the head of R&D at he might be with Avalanche now, I'm not sure, but great dude, wildly intelligent. Him and I really hit it off. And he had the phrase the Cambrian explosion, which I saw. He explained it so well, like, and this is back in the days, like SLP and DCH and stuff like that. But like, imagine, you guys know that the Cambrian explosion of life, like this is biology class and shit. Like, you know, in the history of evolution, there was like only a handful of life forms that exploded and blossomed into a million different, organisms. That is the exact same transition we were about to experience on with normal tokenization. I promise you this, guys. If it can be tokenized, it will be tokenized. Everything. Because why the fuck wouldn't it? Why wouldn't you tokenize that?
That's already done.
It is.
You know, there's certain markets you can buy.
Oh, wait until Justin gets back and tells us about what they're doing with Solana. Yeah, doing some crazy shit over there. But we have 2 more weeks until College Lover launches. And then we have a bunch of assets that are going to kind of tokens. But we're sort of straying back to it. I don't want to get too, we already covered this. We'll get back to it. But there are real world use cases other than games, images, shit like that. Event passes, exclusive access to areas. Like if you own a board 8, it sounds crazy because you pay $1 for it. There's like a graffiti that, like, if you have a board 8, you can access the graffiti board and scroll shit on. Yeah, nothing revolutionary, nothing game changes, but it's like a use case. What else? What else? Real estate, so collectibles.
I think that's it.
It is. Look at the board apes.
Yeah. Yeah, like that Pokemon card. This thing else. And Aaron was the first one. Aaron did that card. He
did what?
He tokenized the gold back. But this is like something, right? Someone has to have these gold backs in reserve. Like, you get this one. But with many did that.
Yeah.
Because I first thought back to
I know, that was cool as shit. You have one.
someone tipped me a gold back. I still have it with me. Like a lucky charm.
With
Like
you?
a lucky charm type of thing.
Is it? Yeah. Hold up, Ben.
Here we go. Yeah, I love it. Like, oh, wow.
A Florida gold back.
Yeah. Yeah. And they'll actually get heavier as well.
No way.
Yeah, because it's real gold. Right? Why? Sure.
Oh, that's fucking wild, actually.
Hey, I love tokenizing.
You know, Aaron from that Project Pharma, where he was talking about a gold backed stable built on Zano, which is like The government has shot people for less. they've killed presidents for less. Like, but I guess the trouble with that would be, of course, so the government whistles here has and that's always been one of the biggest problems with that. So that's why I love Freedom Dollar, because it's sort of the same properties, but it's not confiscable. I'm a fan of gold. I've been talking to buy gold for so long. I've been talking to buy Bitcoin because I didn't know about Bitcoin when I started telling them to buy gold. So, but Freedom Dollar sort of solves all of those problems. I mean, there's so much fucking exciting shit happening on the blockchain. It's just I don't know where to start. Confidential assets, private stable coins, tokenized real world asset stocks and bonds, and memes, and all kinds of shit. Now, do we have any idea when Obscura is going to launch? Obscura.art is the NFT marketplace for Zano. Think SolSea for Solana, but for Zano. That's going to be Obscura.art. What's the story with that? We know when that's coming out? Or?
I honestly don't know anything about that.
It's all money up. Let's get him on the phone.
But I do know that they are working on it. So I would say it's fine. Because you can already mint create NFTs down, right?
Yes.
Do that through right now. It's just that the platform where you create them.
Yeah, jump on, bro. Come on. Just come on.
We're live streaming. Jump in.
It's just that the platform where it's created, that's the needs to be created, right? So where like the most simple thing is right. So it's it's actually for NFTs for sale. Actually bid it.
Right. Yes.
So that is what is currently still being made. And it should be like an error.
There's so much big shit happening though, but like
Yeah.
in terms of like
The reasoning for that was very much like there was this big
Obscura
cultural shift.
NFTs, both on Zano. We have
But I feel like that.
I've been working on financing my team. The first collection.
Took that
We hope calling 5 pioneers. And it's a collection of I believe there's only like I don't know if we did 12 or 21. That's what I mean. But we took
when I looked at it on Monday, it's like
important people in the history of privacy. Alan Turing.
Sorry for
Satoshi Nakamoto, Dread Pirate Roberts, etc. And we turn them all to NFTs, and we're gonna send on the Zano blockchain. For like, not a lot of people, just want to.
Yeah, there was still
Obscura and Zano and shit like that. It's 21. It's got a text.
We go here inside.
21 NFTs we have to run. And you'll be able to see Obscura.art as soon as it launches. It's going to be the highest collection. I didn't know George Solgi, great economist one time.
Like that.
Whoever's the first in the game is
To the
going to win.
latest proposal.
But again, the point is to draw attention. I'm not selling for $1 million. So it's to like, draw attention to
Ethereum just
private NFTs like that. Check out this
like
little
C capacity
20-second clip, 30-second clip.
zero speeding.
4 privacy pioneers
And
that we
them
put
taking
together
the
for you
seeking
guys
we have
while I refill my lungs. Can we do that, Alex? Let me know if we can run that.
we've all been predicting the war on crypto for years. I've also always said that at the end we win. You know, the state will use different tools against us, but you know what? We're going to turn around and we're going to have things like Zano pop up in response to problems that they create. And Zano is a sort of solution to all of it, like the tokenization, the confidential layers. So I remain confident because I really think that we innovate more quickly than the state does. The state's always going to push back because they want power and money and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I think it's sort of the market always wins.
Winter's coming up. I hadn't been back here since.
Yeah, much.
2009.
It's quarter
I
to
don't
5
have
here now.
Much memory.
Doesn't
but,
like it doesn't.
yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. And if you told me I thought it'd be on a boat, so
Yeah.
I thought Amsterdam, I would have thought you went. This is a hell of a way to spend.
So I'm gonna jump back into the street.
Actually, I think it's true.
Get some Snapchat, Instagram content. Here.
Ah.
All right, guys. We are live.
Yes.
From the canals in Amsterdam on a sort of schlooter. And we are bringing you solutions. Agorist,
Yeah, you want
cypherpunk, crypto anarchist solutions. Ways to live more freely without having the
stuff on the bottom.
Sometimes I think the sponsors is I don't even think it's political. But they
Personally,
know they get involved.
Yeah.
Ways to avoid the genocidal, lunatic, murdering politicians, political parasites is a better word.
Oh well, you know.
That are robbing you and the people you love. Here's how you avoid it. We're
also
telling you
used
how
to
to live freely right now. Guys, if you take a look at the enemy, the state apparatus, the beating heart of the politicians.
You don't have your best interest at heart, even though.
No.
Like,
Yeah. You know who's in. Oh, we'll you know what? We should talk about that in a second too, because they've actually just concealed the largest child rape ring in history. But we'll get into that. The point is,
Oh, sorry.
the system they've
I see it.
created
I don't
survives
think
off
it's
of the money
right.
printing.
That's what I said.
Without the ability to print money as well, they could not afford
I
to
saw
maintain
the
the
number.
welfare or fair state. We cannot run into the central bank with guns.
No.
People tried it. I remember hearing a story. No, people tried it, dude. I remember hearing a story of some dude. It was a long time ago. How y'all doing?
Fine.
God bless you. Of a guy.
So then we should talk about.
That was weird. A guy who actually ran the Federal Reserve with a shotgun, and
one man
But
took
in
it
the
all
front-
down.
walked in, but nobody ever saw him walk back out.
Yeah, of course.
And so you can't fight.
That's not. They have all the money.
Yeah.
They have all the weapons.
So violence won't work. You can't take a political approach because they can't even get an audit of the Fed passed, let alone a bill to end. They can't even get the audit bill to the Senate floor.
No, but doesn't that imply that?
Okay, it doesn't even get it that far. They don't even get to vote on it before it gets killed.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work either.
They hold all the keys.
The only way is to make them obsolete the same way that Netflix made Blockbuster obsolete.
Okay.
Right? That's the only solution.
Expected.
So we do that with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And it's not about getting rich. Right? Anybody tells you cryptocurrency is about getting rich, they're a liar.
Fair enough.
Getting rich is a side benefit of becoming free.
Okay, fair enough. So I stand.
Right? So if you invest in coins, when I say invest, I mean use. When you use coins that actually have real world utility,
Right, guys.
you end up making money anyway.
Yeah.
That's because everybody wants to that utility. You're not the only person looking for that utility. The whole world wants that utility. They do.
Yeah.
More people want it than people imagine. So that's why people made money. Right? And that's why the kids who invested in like, 2017, and when it was an all-time high. And then they sold when it came down a little bit, and they buy and sell, in and out. That's how you got to make money this way. You have to have real world utility.
Any chance we could see the first of the
Alex, I can't do anything about that.
First of the
Sorry. It's fucking backwards. Right?
No, you can't see that from no.
Where was it going?
But later on, I will go to
So,
the red light.
you have to make top.
You are
in top. You have to do better product, right? Like Netflix is a better product.
Where I make the turn, that's
Digital cameras is better product.
I can point in the general direction.
Kodak.
You have your back illustrated.
You have to get you any other sample. But you get the point that I'm making.
Yeah,
Is a better product than centralized. Oh shit, he's back. My man is back. Get him back here. Get him back here.
Boys!
How did you like your flogging?
It was enjoyable. The sadist in me enjoyed it, but we needed more whips. I think there's whips on this boat.
Next time.
I thought the gag didn't fit me very
As you can see, we do things differently here in this
Yes, we like to go old school Amsterdam style.
Dutch torture device.
Dutch torture devices. We just passed the torture museum.
We were just talking about though how what I'm saying is that the money printers are beating hard of the enemy. Right? If they couldn't print money, they couldn't afford the welfare warfare state. And we're not going to divest them of that money printer violence. We're not going to divest them of that money printer with politics. We're going to try that. Place offering better products. Same way the example I just gave these guys was the way that Netflix made Blockbuster obsolete. That's how we're going to. And part of that means fungibility, right? Like you found money. One of the aspects of creating money is fungibility, and a transparent blockchain just is not fungible. What even?
A transparent blockchain is not fungible.
It's a text statement.
No, I think a transparent blockchain be fungible. Right? Like I'm not too against also if you have something that's programmable, I'm not too against layer and privacy features. Like big tornado cache, for example. Like that I think it's like
Does that count as a layer though?
No, actually it doesn't.
Right.
That's correct. Thank you.
We got one right. Come on, I my way around here.
Yeah, okay. No. Tornado cache is a smart contract, right? On Ethereum. So like that. I mean, when it comes to like privacy, like what protocol has made the most fuss out of anything else? Tornado.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like that's like the biggest runaway successes of privacy in crypto, even if it is Lazarus Group and North Koreans taking advantage of it, still in terms of the sheer scale of it. Like that's what
Do you believe that the Lazarus Group is using tornado cache? I think that the government is lying to persecute my friend Alexei Perez at Rolling Stone. What do you think?
I can't tell you who's behind Lazarus Group, but I think the evidence. Right. Okay. I think we can agree. It was Lazarus Group. Who's behind the Lazarus Group? That's not my area of expertise. I'm gonna just.
I do the politics around here. Right?
Okay.
You just stick to the crypto stuff.
Okay. So according to Sal's, the Federal Reserve is heard of the first box. No, but I think Tornado Cash is like a possible example of that, and like that was all done on a transparent blockchain, right? So I think there are ways.
But it was made fungible with Tornado Cash.
Yes, Tornado Cash like is that extra puzzle that allowed fungibility, that allowed privacy to actually exist.
But so in other words, so just to rephrase that question, you can't have a pure base layer blockchain, transparent blockchain that's also fungible.
Look, I mean, okay, how do we define fungibility? Fungibility here would be like the classic definition would be like I accept 1 unit the same as I would.
Of course, yes. One unit is identical to the next.
Yeah, right. And if I'm able to obfuscate the source of those funds, right, then it's fungible, right? Like,
yes.
And like if someone wants to know the source of those funds, that's their right too, right? It's like if I want to know where to get this money from, that's not. Like that's something I want to know. Like as a professional investor, I don't want to accept mafia money. I don't want to accept like anything like that. Like you know what I mean? Like I want to know where someone gets their money from. I want to
I
know
think
who
we
I'm
have a
doing business.
disagreement. I think we have a disagreement.
Well, I think it's context, right? In the context of a immutable, decentralized protocol where you don't know your peer, sure, fungible privacy, but like in the context of me as a centralized company, managing other people's money, yeah, I want to know whose money I'm.
See, I feel like $1 should be equivalent to an X. Like, I don't want people to use, Zano or dollars or anything. I don't want people to do things like kitty porn or shit like that. But drug dealing, whatever. But I think that that money needs to be yeah.
But for the same reason, I also want to still have the ability to also be able to taste those. Like, give us the option. That's why I'm not a mandatory privacy guy. Yeah. I mean, that guy. Because look, I want institutions.
To the subversive spectrum with your host, Sally Mayweather. Let's go. Welcome to the subversive spectrum with your host, Sally Mayweather. Let's go. Welcome to the subversive spectrum with your host, Sally Mayweather. With your host, Sally Mayweather.
I'm Sal the Agorist, and if you've been around here long enough, you know I don't just talk privacy, I live it. To me, privacy isn't some buzzword or marketing gimmick. It's a non-negotiable part of living free, opting out, and taking back control of your financial life. That's why I'm excited about this. Zano, one of the most private blockchains in crypto, is now available in Edge Wallet, a self-custody crypto wallet that actually respects your sovereignty. Zano is a fully shielded blockchain. Everything you do on it is private by design. We're talking encrypted transactions, hidden addresses, and confidential transaction amounts on the blockchain. That's next level privacy. And now with Edge, using Zano is actually simple. You can store, send, and trade Zano directly inside the Edge app. Fully self-custody, no personal information required, and no tracking of sends and receives into and out of your account. Let me say that again. With Edge, you don't need to trust a third party or hand over your ID just to hold your own money. That's how it should be. Most Zano wallets have you write down a 26-word seed phrase, but Edge does it differently. You log in with a secure username and password that only you have access to. Edge doesn't store any of this information themselves, and everything gets encrypted locally on your device. That's self-custody made usable, and if you ever need to, you can always access your seed phrase in the app at any time. Getting started takes seconds. Download the Edge app, create a PIN, Tap to add a Zano wallet, and you're done. No custodians, no leaks, no friction. And here's the best part. Edge automatically encrypts and backs up your wallet using secure peer-to-peer cloud servers. Your data is never exposed, and Edge can't access your info in any usable form. If something happens to your device, just reinstall the app, log in with your username and password, and everything's right where you left it. You can even enable one-touch two-factor authentication for extra security. And there's a built-in password recovery option, so you don't have to risk losing access forever. Edge also supports other privacy coins like Monero, Zcash, Firo, and R. So if privacy is your thing, this is the wallet you have to get. If you're an Agorist, a builder, a voluntarist, a freedom maxi, or just anyone who wants their financial life off the radar, this is the stack for you. Zano gives you confidential transactions. Edge gives you user-friendly, private self-custody. Together, this is the way that cryptocurrency was meant to work. Download Edge at dl.edge.app/sal and add Zano. And take back control of your money without compromise. Because privacy is no longer optional, it's your edge.
Tell him I'm ready. Oh, he's just gone. He's gone.
Oh, you found some more.
That's all right.
Alex, we're ready if you can hear us. All right, we're back.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, get off our backstride. We're doing our back.
But we're back, and look, we're back. Not only we're not a regular studio, we're from a sloop on the Amsterdam canals. And I brought to you not only do I have solutions for you guys, but I brought to you the top crypto experts in Europe. I brought them all together to school you guys on privacy solutions. My main man, Justin Bonds here. You're familiar with him. Maybe there's a lot of people just popping in the stream now. Reintroduce yourself. Sorry, I know, but there's a lot of like thousands of people.
No, I'm used to it, you know. So I'm Justin Bonds. I'm the founder of Subversive, which is now Europe's own cryptocurrency fund.
Did I tell you I'm bringing you the fucking best people here? I do it for you guys because I love you.
But I think what makes me different to like a lot of VCs, for example, is my primary work is really involving that research. It's really all about fundamentals, really from the perspective of value. That's what makes me different to say the average VC, which is a very different personality.
Guys, I vouch for him 100%. He's a good friend of mine, and I told all of my team before, I was like, Justin is one of the most knowledgeable people in the world on cryptocurrency. You might not agree with everything he says, but he's extremely knowledgeable and has very unique and interesting viewpoints. So I thought, hey, he has some reservations about the tools that I present here for use. But I thought, hey, if I can convince this guy, I can convince anybody. So, I don't know, why don't you tell me what are some of your chief reservations about things that I've said today?
I'll premise this.
He's like, where do I start?
To be fair, I have reservations about every single cryptocurrency.
Everything you said, okay.
Like, if you ask me if you want me to criticize any cryptocurrency, I can. And I'll do
No, I don't want you to criticize. I want you to support me.
Yeah, so we're talking about Zano specifically.
Yeah, let's start with that.
So Zano specifically, I can be very specific because I've been very much like, I think what I do as an investment, as a researcher, as well as in my first principles, I think very important. I think instead of asking what cryptocurrency do you want to invest in or support, maybe it's better to ask yourself what features do you want to support all those things? Otherwise, things get very like tribalistic. Things get a bit weird. You know what I mean? So
100%.
yeah. So I think that's why, like for me, I think Zano is called a hybrid proof of work stake system.
Yes.
And it's big towards proof of stake. That's great. Because I'm into proof of stake. You can look up my work on that subject elsewhere.
Where?
I've got an article on Medium. That's probably the easiest way to find that.
And what? Your X page?
You can just go to Justin Bond's Medium. Yeah. I mean, you can always just type in Justin Bond's proof of work or something.
You'll find it.
Yeah. But I think for me, I think proof of stake is key. But with Zano specifically, my main issue with Zano, why I'm not like is the best thing ever, is a lack of a Turing complete routine. Like my position now is that's what you need. Proof of stake, you need high throughput, you need speed, you need certain decentralization factors.
That's one hell of a fucking demand list, bro.
Yeah, it's one hell of a demand list. And you need privacy as well. And
where are you finding that?
The mind is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I know.
An infinite playground to explore and to discover.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So you run Europe's oldest crypto fund?
Yes.
You had one of the top performing funds on the continent?
Yeah, depending on what year you look at. But yeah.
He's being modest. Okay, here's my question. Zano was one of the, and I don't care whether it's $1 or $1 million, I don't give a fuck because I'm just like a poor criminal.
A smooth criminal.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Actually, I am. I stayed out of prison this time. Anyway, all my sponsors have left. Here's the thing. If I was an investor, from an investment perspective, Zano was one of the top 10 performing coins last year. So you managing this fund, you should be like all about Zano.
So as a fundamental, like you have technical analysts, right, that look at past price, and you have rental investors,
like that.
They draw lines on charts, whatever, like
Russell 2000,
whatever, like check the guts of like a mouse and tap the future. Okay, whatever. Like momentum traders, you have people that invest that follow the hype, right? Like for me, you're never going to convince me by saying the price down, right? Because like past performance is no guarantee of future performance. And if what I'm interested is the fundamentals, then it's the fundamental I've interested in. Convince me. Like if you can, the thing you need to convince me of is either Zano will add a VM, or you don't need a VM. But I just
why do you need it?
Well, I think there's a certain arc in crypto, right? There's certain arc of history. I think there's certain lessons we learned, right? I think first we had Bitcoin, right? That was like generation one, right?
Yeah.
That proved that we can do decentralized consensus. Cool. We have Gen 2, which is like, I would say like Ethereum, and bringing like a VM to the table, right? That's like, I think that was a critical innovation. That's why those chains are so successful. Like I think there's a certain like lesson history. Like yes, I won't look at the last few years of performance or whatever and say this is why it's certain performance. But at the same time, if that's where the majority of revenue is, if that's where the majority of uses are, then like that's clearly what is the competitive product. Like if we want to win, we need to combine our cypherpunk principles, our cypherpunk ethics, like what we want the world to be. We need to combine that with actually building the whole point.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
That's key.
Yeah, no, 100%. Do you, I lost my train of thought. What here was it say?
So like we have to build competitive products. That's like important. Specifically in regards to the VM, I think what happened with Ethereum, because before Ethereum, they had all these other smaller cryptocurrencies, right?
No, I remember.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Do you not see P2P cash as the ultimate use case?
Yes, I do, but with emphasis on ultimate. So like, I'm an old school Bitcoin, right? Like I'm from like the class of 2012,
same.
Right? So like, that is still like in my heart and soul. But if I really think about how do we get? I think we might have gotten there with the BTC this. I think we're actually on the cusp of like mass adoption.
We were.
I think people forget when you look at like the usage charts going up, and then we hit the limit, the congestion, the block size wars. It was a disaster. At a certain point, I remember when the congestion hit, Steam dropped it, Amazon dropped it, Microsoft dropped it.
Oh, I remember.
They all dropped it, and they all cited high fees, congestion, and we've never had that level of usage in terms of like actual commerce since then, right? So for me, the dream of like peer-to-peer money, like in the short term, midterm, at least somewhat died. We haven't seen a resurgence since then. Like we had Bitcoin City. Let me just finish my thread if I may. And I think we're actually, come on, go ahead and I'll
It didn't die. It was killed.
It was killed. Yeah, it was killed.
That's the important thing. It was killed by people to death, but it was done so intentionally by people trying to save banking cartel, but trying to save the fiat currency because they saw Bitcoin was actually exploding in 2017. And you're right.
That last part we can't prove, but it's very likely.
So check out the book. Have you read Hijacking Bitcoin? So Peter, what the fuck's the guy's name? I've drank too much wine. The dude who was there was like, if you read the book Hijack, no. Who was the dude who was like the fucking Peter Todd?
The BTC core developer Peter Todd?
Yeah, the fucking CIA guy.
Yeah, that's Peter Todd. Yeah. I mean,
read the book Hijacking Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's done some work with intelligent officers.
Some work, yeah.
You know that.
To say the least.
Yeah. It's huge. Well, also, what's interesting about Peter Todd, it's interesting because it's funny because like I'm a critic of BTC, also because of the security model, right? Peter Todd agrees with me. He's currently advocating. It's fine.
Yeah, I remember him having a debate and our founders are big exponent of being taught as a course.
Oh yeah. Andre was telling me about that.
Yeah, and it's a funny thing, like especially in the privacy scene, everyone was somehow still very
join us
tied to proof of work. Everyone loves it. And they say because proof of work is more fair. That's an argument they use. But that has nothing to do with consensus. Consensus has to do with the cost of an attack. How are you going to make the blockchain as secure as possible? It's not about fair distribution. There are other ways to do that.
I would even go further. I would say like proof of stake is more fair and more secure and more such an idea. Maybe I would still like to pull on that book or not. Then maybe we could go back to
You want to be in our original Amsterdam?
Yes, I will.
Yes, I definitely will.
Toilet break?
Yeah. But I was going to make this point.
Yeah.
And the point is that I think before you had that virtual machine that was currently complete, you had all these different projects that were kind of like, okay, we're going to program in this feature, we're going to program in this feature. Or it's programming like 1,000 layers with different kind of widely different features. And what was so powerful about the VM is it basically unleashed all of that innovation to the free market, because now it's like, no, the core developers just do the core protocol, and because of the Turing complete VM, application developers can now develop literally anything they could think of, and that is what created this huge Cambrian explosion of dApps and use cases and like applications. And I don't think we should ignore that. I think we should look at that and go, you know what? There's actually something here. There's something really powerful here. And ideally, I would want my perfect blockchain, to have that and privacy. But I'll admit it doesn't exist.
Yet. Guys, you're watching the Subversive Spectrum. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. We are on the canals in Amsterdam. I'm with the top European crypto experts in the world. We're going to take a quick toilet break. I got to take a leak, get some more wine. Give me like 5 minutes tops, and we will be right back. Again, Subversive Spectrum, special episode from the canals on a sloop. How do they say it in Dutch? A sloop. We'll be right back, guys. BRB.
Switch on those.
Just the switch? Hit that
just click it the other way.
Adam, do something here.
Tell him to. Not
It's still live.
muted, so whatever.
Hallo, weet je dat? Ik heb some ground, solid ground.
Adam.
That was flowing nicely there.
It was until right now.
Nou, ik lig nu in de regen.
Flowing nicely again.
Ze gaan het plassen. I keep hitting these puns today. Wat zeg je? It's being triggered or?
No, he's walking his dog.
Yeah,
This is Freedom Dollar, FUSD, the world's first privacy-focused stablecoin built on the Zano blockchain. Unlike traditional stablecoins, FUSD is decentralized, censorship-resistant, and private by default. Each FUSD is over-collateralized with Zano and pegged to the US dollar using a decentralized algorithm. There's no CEO, no company, no central authority. FUSD is governed entirely by open source code and community consensus. Anyone can run a market-making node to help maintain the peg and further decentralize the network. All collateral and peg data are transparently published and verifiable at freedomdollar.com. CBDCs and corporate stablecoins can be frozen, tracked, and censored. FUSD can't. Use FUSD to spend, save, or transfer stable value without giving up your freedom. Freedom Dollar, private, stable, unapologetically unbanked. freedomdollar.com.
Now we are dealing with a possible world war. Some will say we are already in a world war. My condolences and prayers go out to everyone suffering under tyranny. It really sucks. I'm really sorry. But it seems as if people are starting to wake up regarding crypto more and more each day. And so it's in the description right here to read where we give our secret sauce and what we teach our subscribers, because things are just that bad. You know, everyone needs this information. People need to know about sound cryptocurrencies that are actually private by default and to know how to properly use crypto.
We're gonna triple it. We're gonna triple it. It's early.
The subversive spectrum with your host Sally Mayweather. Yeah. You already know. Let's go. Welcome to the subversive spectrum with your host Sally Mayweather. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
stream, Adam?
He's still running ads, but we should probably get back on. Oh, we are live. We are live, guys.
At least the banter was good. Hello, good
Yeah.
audience.
Hey guys, we're back. Give us 1 second to get settled back in.
Who's that? Who's that? Welcome back to? Am I on? Am I? I don't think I'm trying to connect.
I'm ready for you to go. But the reality is, though, the thing is scaling a based on what we talked about before.
Yeah.
Like scaling a blockchain without a VM. I actually think that's somewhat of a trivial problem. Like it's only when you add a VM that you add massive challenge to actually scaling that system, just because the amount of data and looping contracts, states, insane. So like scaling a non-Turing complete blockchain to me is like easy peasy in 2025. Like actually like scaling like a chain with VM, this smart contract capable. That's still challenging. There's blockchains that are doing it, but it's like really cutting edge stuff. There's only so many people that really have that skill set. Something.
During break, we were talking a little bit about stablecoins and privacy, and I'm surprised you were unfamiliar with Freedom Dollar because you might have your doubts, but a lot of the people you certainly run in are sort of Zano friendly. So I thought this would be a good opportunity for Quentin to get more knowledge. I'm a dumb person, obviously. But at least he would be able to, maybe explain to you, and then we can see what you think.
Yeah, so I just for the audience, I don't know anything about Freedom Dollar, and I was just off-screen asking, hey,
sure.
so like, hey, I heard the description, like, okay, it's a stable coin.
Okay,
but I'd like to get into the nitty-gritty.
Check out the ticker symbol.
Yeah, okay, I like.
Okay, but think about it. FUSD.
Good. That's good.
It's good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So what is
I know when.
what is Freedom Dollar? Freedom Dollar is a confidential asset released from Zano, which is always stable.
I know what a stable coin is.
But they might not though.
Sorry.
And so it's better than something like Tether or Uchain briefly, first of all being that it is actually private. So it's as private as Zano itself, right? So all the computational assets, all the computational assets,
We're fighting to win, guys.
all the computational assets in Zano are as private as Zano itself. You don't see the transaction, neither can you see it as private. I mean, you probably see it as a transaction happen. So
Battery's dying.
everything.
Can't with the mic.
Hello.
Loud now?
Yeah, battery's dying though.
We're gonna stop in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we may have to call it.
Anyway, the privacy is number one. Makes it much better. And the second, right? Tether, they can just freeze massive.
But hold on, like the core of this would be like, question one would be, is it a algorithmic stable or is it a custodian stable? That'd be my question.
I'd say,
You would say, or like it either is or it is not, right?
yeah. So they have these. If I'm not part of the free moment, right? Top of our structure, they have these this software. Anyone you can basically on the Zano trade DEX, you can actually run your own market making bot, right? And you can provide liquidity both ways. And basically, because there's a small percentage difference of buying and selling, they basically make a small profit. So anyone that can run that software.
Okay. So, like, is there a freedom dollar token besides the stable?
No.
Then it's probably not algorithmic unless it's enshrined in the Zano code.
Yeah,
Answer that question.
yeah. So it's backed in 100% by Zano coin, but it's not that Zano
How do you better
fluctuates all the time.
But like, you decide
thousands of one time. Like, isn't it like it's over collateralized?
down to 3,000.
No, it's
Do you know what the collateral rate is?
something like 1.
Okay, so okay.
Over collateralized by it's literally over collateralized by ridiculous amounts.
I mean, kind of. So if you want to mint, basically you buy with Zano. So let's say you want to convert $1,000 to Zano, $1,000 worth of
Okay. That's legit. So I can answer the question now. It is. Now that is cool as hell. I really like
He's in. He's sold.
Yeah. Still missing the programmability, but I love algorithmic stable coin. I've been a big fan of Maker for years. I love what Maker's done. I really don't Sky and all that. I think they should stay on more. But I love.
Mr. Mayweather, come on in. So, Mr. Mayweather, I believe you want to make a deposit?
That's correct.
Okay. I just need you to sign here, and we're ready to go.
Okay.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange faced up to 175 years in prison.
Sent in tanks and men with guns, and they set the entire place on fire.
12 children were killed.
Actually, I think I'm going to hold off for now. This is great, dude. I'm up over 100%, and I'm not paying for Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio, Israel's wars, or any of the welfare.
Are you kidding me?
No, I swear to God. Check this out.
No way. You're making a killing. You know what, Sal? You gotta show me how you did that.
It's easy. I did it with Zano, a completely private, open-source cryptocurrency that actually scales and enables tokenized assets, aliases, and has a built-in private messenger app, DEX, and ionic swaps.
Here's to financial freedom.
Cheers.
Sláinte.
I'm Sal the Agorist, and if you've been around here long enough, you know I don't just talk privacy, I live it. To me, privacy isn't some buzzword or marketing gimmick. It's a non-negotiable part of living free, opting out, and taking back control of your financial life. That's why I'm excited about this. Zano, one of the most private blockchains in crypto, is now available in Edge Wallet, a self-custody crypto wallet that actually respects your sovereignty. Zano is a fully shielded blockchain. Everything you do on it is private by design. We're talking encrypted transactions, hidden addresses, and confidential transaction amounts on the blockchain. That's next level privacy. And now with Edge, Using Zano is actually simple. You can store, send, and trade Zano directly inside the Edge app. Fully self-custody, no personal information required, and no tracking of sends and receives into and out of your account. Let me say that again. With Edge, you don't need to trust a third party or hand over your ID just to hold your own money. That's how it should be. Most Zano wallets have you write down a 26-word seed phrase, but Edge does it differently. You log in with a secure username and password that only you have access to. Edge doesn't store any of this information themselves, and everything gets encrypted locally on your device. That's self-custody made usable, and if you ever need to, you can always access your seed phrase in the app at any time. Getting started takes seconds. Download the Edge app, create a PIN, tap to add a Zano wallet, and you're done. No custodians, no leaks, no friction. And here's the best part. Edge automatically encrypts and backs up your wallet using secure peer-to-peer cloud servers. Your data is never exposed, and Edge can't access your info in any usable form. If something happens to your device, just reinstall the app, log in with your username and password, and everything's right where you left it. You can even enable one-touch two-factor authentication for extra security. And there's a built-in password recovery option so you don't have to risk losing access forever. Edge also supports other privacy coins like Monero, Zcash, Firo, and R. So if privacy is your thing, this is the wallet you have to get. If you're an Agorist, a builder, a voluntarist, a freedom maxi, or just anyone who wants their financial life off the radar, this is the stack for you. Zano gives you confidential transactions. Edge gives you user-friendly, private self-custody. Together, this is the way that cryptocurrency was meant to work. Download Edge at dl.edge.app/sal and add Zano. And take back control of your money without compromise. Because privacy is no longer optional, it's your Edge.
Why is Roger Ver facing 107 years?
And so Roger Ver, I've talked to him on the show before. I just spoke to him recently. He's trying to I don't know what the exact situation is. He's the next one I think Trump should be pardoning or commuting. They're accusing him of they accused him of, this is a trick that the IRS does, which when I heard about this, I was shocked. They said his IRS form was fraudulent. Okay, fine. But because he mailed it, they added like 20 years of mail fraud.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Do you see how that works? Is that amazing?
Unbelievable.
So it's just like, let's suppose, for the sake, let's steel man it. His IRS tax form was a fraud. Fine. Milk him.
Yeah.
Pay
the fine.
Pay a huge fine.
He's offered to.
What is the benefit of putting him in? And the thing is like, if in terms of like it's going to incentivize other people, don't you want these rich people to pay these big fines? It's just a revenue generator for you. What is the incentive of putting him in jail for 20 years?
I'm actually pretty surprised because they like money. That's
right.
For sure.
Take the money. It's either you get a lot of money from these rich people or you're paying for 20 years, put them in jail, helping no one.
Cryptocurrencies is for everybody. And they need to go head to head and compete with the US dollar and the euro and the yen and the ruble and everything else. Because when people have more choices, their lives are better off and it results in more economic freedom. More economic freedom results in more economic growth, and more economic growth raises everybody's standard of living, which literally makes every single person's life on the planet better off. And that's why it's such an exciting thing for me to be involved in. And that's why I'm doing it despite risking 109 years in federal prison for just telling people about these amazing ideas and technologies.
Free Roger Ver, one of the best people I know. The man has funded surgeries. He has done things for people behind the scenes that people don't even know about. He's the most charitable individual I know. He's funded so many crypto projects, it's just unreal. Just an all-around good human being. I really can't say enough about the guy. He essentially was giving a speech about Waco and how the ATF burned 70, 80 women and children alive. Did you ever see the movie Patriot with Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
Remember the scene where they burned a bunch of people alive in a church? That's literally what happens in real life. The ATF and the FBI burned a church of Seventh-day Adventists alive. Women, children, men, the whole thing. And then they stood on top of the charred remains of the bodies and took pictures. You just can't make this shit up. The government is just evil. But Roger was talking about this at a campaign event, and there was an ATF agent in the audience, and they held a grudge because of this. And Roger happened to be selling fireworks on eBay. And he wasn't the only one, but he was the only one ever who was ever charged.
They just needed something.
They charged him with some obscure law about moving explosives by mail or something like that. Sent him to federal prison, does his time, comes out, and he's like, they're after my ass. I gotta get out of here. If they can do that to me, what can't they do to me? Renounces his citizenship. He goes out of the country. A bunch of lawyers to file all of his exit documents, his tax returns, the whole nine. He goes, lives his life, starts a bunch of companies, very successful, kills it, promotes all these ideas, very charitable. 10 years later, the government comes back and says, hey, remember when you left? You didn't pay enough. You got the number wrong. So for that, we're going to give you 109 years in prison. By the way, this is right after he wrote a book called Hijacking Bitcoin. And what it does is in the book, Rogers, they call him Bitcoin Jesus because he was always the premier promoter of Satoshi's version of Bitcoin. And he wrote this book, Hijacking Bitcoin, where he exposes the government's role in keeping blocks small. And they did that because they knew that if it was not usable as a medium of exchange, it would not be a threat to the US dollar's monopoly. It would not be a threat to the banking cartel's monopoly on the issuance of currency. So Roger wrote this book exposing their role, crippling Bitcoin, hijacking Bitcoin. And as soon as he does it, they're just like 109 years.
Roger Ver is one of the pioneers of the crypto space.
Bitcoin Jesus. Leave it to the Biden administration to try to figure out a way to crucify Bitcoin Jesus.
My first thought is maybe it's not really about the taxes. Maybe there's something more to this story.
Roger Ver's not actually guilty by the letter of the law.
He did everything he possibly could to comply.
So they're using the tax system as a form of lawfare. As an example, don't you dare innovate.
If anybody knows what it's like to be the victim of lawfare, it's Trump.
Donald Trump. A pardon of Roger Ver would send a very powerful message. And if you want to make America great again, you need people like Roger.
We should be proud of our country. We should keep our best and our brightest. We shouldn't be chasing them out.
That's the stuff that all the U.S. propaganda wants you to believe goes on in Russia all the time.
Look at the evaluation of Mar-a-Lago case. Look at the New York cases. Look at the D.C. cases. Trump, you understand lawfare. People in this administration have a sensitivity to this and an awareness of this issue that has never been present in the executive branch before.
I feel like we're undergoing an emancipation from the financial terrorism that has so oppressed our best minds.
We want to see President Trump get rid of the lawfare agreement as he was once victim of a pardon, lifting of charges, whatever it takes. It's time to free Roger.
Free Roger.
Free Roger. Free Roger.
Roger, Godspeed.
I want Donald Trump to issue a pardon for this man.
Free Roger.
Free Roger.
Free Roger.
Free Roger now.
For 3.5 years, the current administration has waged a war on crypto and Bitcoin like nobody's ever seen before. It has to stop, and it has to stop now.
In Edge, you have private keys. They're in the app. They're encrypted automatically, and they're backed up. But you just create an account and log in. And it's a no KYC account, no email, no phone number, nothing. And with that account, you basically get automatic encryption and backup of your keys. You even have password recovery capability. You do have to set that up. You have automatic two-factor protection. So if you chose a poor password and some attacker gets it, they won't be able to get into your account. You'll get a notification before, you'll have some time to respond. Little things that make it much more human accessible to the usual traditional finance person. That's what we're trying to deliver. So you can think of us as like the cypherpunks that are trying to hide the complexity of cypherpunk software and kind of Trojan horse it into the masses. Even the people that don't care about privacy, don't care about autonomy.
You will be private.
You will be, and you won't even realize it, and you will have autonomy. You will control your money.
That's
you
what it should be, though.
Yeah, it just seems
it's
like a
what it should be, but
no-brainer.
it's super hard. It's a no-brainer, but the brain part of it being a no-brainer, which would make it tough, is it's hard to kind of marry those two. Crypto and privacy normally takes extra steps. It takes,
no
extra
doubt.
effort. Key management being one of the big ones. I like to say there's a few apps. I gave a presentation on this at ETHDAM last year, which are, hey, what are good apps that have actually bridged that gap, where they provide the privacy, but they're kind of equivalent to the total surveillance style apps. So like Signal is a good example, right? I used Signal back when it absolutely sucked. And I used it to try it, but I never recommended it to anyone. Then it crossed that threshold in like maybe 2019. I'm like, whoa, this is actually a pretty damn good app. And you can't tell the difference between Signal and like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. Exactly. It's actually better than those. And so now I'm just like, okay, now I have my friends and family that they're absolutely not cypherpunk types. They don't give a shit. And they're using it, not realizing they're fully encrypted, protected from government surveillance.
Yeah.
Right. And so therefore, anything I say to them is fully encrypted and protected from government surveillance.
I want to tell you about my own story about being tortured in federal prison in the United States.
Roger Ver, unfortunately today he got arrested. Free Roger.
Free Roger.
The real reason that I actually went to prison is because I was busy saying things like the things that I'm going to say in this video. Taxation is theft and war is mass murder, funded by theft.
Roger, Bitcoin Jesus himself, was a true pioneer.
Here you've got one of the most independent people in the world preaching and teaching people to individually empower themselves around the globe.
He's been very supportive of the work we do.
He's also an inspiration to a lot of people around the globe.
I couldn't express any more of how great of a person he was.
In 2014, Roger Ver left the United States. America apparently is the land of the free. You should be free to just leave.
The United States government considers you to be their property.
Roger paid millions of dollars to the United States government, and they're saying now that it's not enough.
You read the quotes from his lawyer, it's like, this is the evidence of someone trying to comply with the law.
He did everything according to the book.
Nobody's ever gone to jail for that, ever.
The DOJ is actually using the Bitcoin Jesus term. They're literally going to crucify Bitcoin Jesus.
Just because some people get together and write down words on a piece of paper and call it a law, that doesn't alter morality one bit.
They're using the Trump case as a template for how they can go after any dissident.
This is very scary, frankly, 10 years later.
Government and central banks do not want this story out there.
The truth doesn't bend to whether or not we like it being the truth or not.
Roger's a good guy, and we all owe him a lot. It's really sad.
To say that he is instrumental in Bitcoin would be a radical understatement.
He's really believed in Bitcoin for the reasons that people should believe in Bitcoin.
It disgusts me from my core when I see government murdering people around the world. And Bitcoin has the power to undermine everything they're doing to people around the world.
Is it a coincidence? The only guy that's ever been criminally prosecuted on an exit tax interpretation is the guy that was exposing the intelligence community's attempts to infiltrate the Bitcoin movement.
There's nothing we can do to change the past, but we can work together to change the future.
From this moment forward, I'm on the same side as Roger.
Free Roger. Free Roger.
Free Roger.
It's as crazy a case as you can possibly imagine.
Spell it.
P-I-N-C-U-S.
Date of birth.
Why?
What day were you born?
No, I understood the question. Why do you need to know that?
Let's leave it blank. Weight.
Last night or this morning?
You pick.
182 pounds.
Number of alcoholic beverages consumed per week.
Why do you need to know that?
Well, they want to know.
Well, I'm sure they want to know a lot of things, but I don't want my intimate details auctioned off to the highest bidder, willy-nilly.
I'll put 0. Marital status?
Pass.
Profession?
Irrelevant.
Food allergies?
I'm not going to be eating here.
Are you allergic to sticking plaster?
What a ludicrous question. I'm not answering any more of these, really.
Do you smoke?
Stop it.
Do you wear dentures?
Madam, listen.
When was the last time you ate?
I want to tell you about a friend of mine. His name is Roger Ver, a great man, a great idealist.
Roger Ver is one of the earliest Bitcoin pioneers.
He's currently in Spain and potentially facing over 100 years in prison in the United States.
The U.S. government is extraditing somebody for tax evasion to put him in prison for 109 years.
I wasn't an American, and I wasn't living in the U.S.
He had to leave the country in order to be safe.
Roger Ver's not actually guilty by the letter of the law.
They didn't send anybody else to prison for the same behavior.
The very concept of having to pay a tax to renounce your citizenship is abhorrent.
It's absurd on its face.
The DOJ is only using the tax evasion charge as a loophole to get around the laws that have not kept up with the technology like Bitcoin.
So they're using the tax system as a form of lawfare. As an example, don't you dare innovate.
They even illegally raided his attorney's office, which is not allowed.
We know it was lawfare. This is a precedent that will be used against everybody in the cryptocurrency space. Trump, you understand lawfare.
Donald Trump, a pardon of Roger Ver would send a very powerful message that you are not going to allow the Department of Justice to be weaponized against advocates of decentralized finance. And if you want to make America great again, you need people like Roger.
We're going to free the victims of lawfare in this country. Just like Donald Trump is a victim of lawfare, so is Ross Ulbricht.
I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht.
I feel like we're undergoing an emancipation from the financial terrorism that has so oppressed our best minds.
I watched so many of my heroes go to prison, be silenced, be debanked, and Roger was one of the first.
If anybody knows what it's like to be the victim of lawfare, it's Trump.
Roger, Godspeed.
I want Donald Trump to issue a pardon for this man. Free Roger now.
It's not a fun way to live day to day, knowing if this is your last day, not in prison, potentially for the rest of your entire life.
We've all been predicting the war on crypto for years. I've also always said that at the end we win. You know, the state will use different tools against us, but you know what? We're going to turn around and we're going to have things like Zano pop up in response to problems that they create. And Zano is a sort of solution to all of it, like the tokenization, the confidential layers. So I remain confident because I really think that we innovate more quickly than the state does. The state's always going to push back because they want power and money and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I think it's sort of the market always wins. I'm Sal the Agorist, and if you've been around here long enough, you know I don't just talk privacy, I live it. To me, privacy isn't some buzzword or marketing gimmick. It's a non-negotiable part of living free, opting out, and taking back control of your financial life. That's why I'm excited about this. Zano, one of the most private blockchains in crypto, is now available in Edge Wallet, a self-custody crypto wallet that actually respects your sovereignty. Zano is a fully shielded blockchain. Everything you do on it is private by design. We're talking encrypted transactions, hidden addresses, and confidential transaction amounts on the blockchain. That's next level privacy. And now with Edge, using Zano is actually simple. You can store, send, and trade Zano directly inside the Edge app. Fully self-custody, no personal information required, and no tracking of sends and receives into and out of your account. Let me say that again. With Edge, you don't need to trust a third party or hand over your ID just to hold your own money. That's how it should be. Most Zano wallets have you write down a 26-word seed phrase, but Edge does it differently. You log in with a secure username and password that only you have access to. Edge doesn't store any of this information themselves, and everything gets encrypted locally on your device. That's self-custody made usable, and if you ever need to, you can always access your seed phrase in the app at any time. Getting started takes seconds. Download the Edge app, create a PIN, tap to add a Zano wallet, and you're done. No custodians, no leaks, no friction. And here's the best part. Edge automatically encrypts and backs up your wallet using secure peer-to-peer cloud servers. Your data is never exposed, and Edge can't access your info in any usable form. If something happens to your device, just reinstall the app, log in with your username and password, and everything's right where you left it. You can even enable one-touch two-factor authentication for extra security. And there's a built-in password recovery option, so you don't have to risk losing access forever. Edge also supports other privacy coins like Monero, Zcash, Firo, and R. So if privacy is your thing, this is the wallet you have to get. If you're an Agorist, a builder, a voluntarist, a freedom maxi, or just anyone who wants their financial life off the radar, this is the stack for you. Zano gives you confidential transactions. Edge gives you user-friendly, private self-custody. Together, this is the way that cryptocurrency was meant to work. Download Edge at dl.edge.app/sal and add Zano. And take back control of your money without compromise. Because privacy is no longer optional, it's your edge.
Now we are dealing with a possible world war. Some will say we are already in a world war. My condolences and prayers go out to everyone suffering under tyranny. It really sucks. I'm really sorry. But it seems as if people are starting to wake up regarding crypto more and more each day. And so it's in the description right here to read, where we give our secret sauce and what we teach our subscribers, because things are just that bad. You know, everyone needs this information. People need to know about sound cryptocurrencies that are actually private by default, and to know how to properly use crypto.
Mr. Mayweather, come on in. So, Mr. Mayweather, I believe you want to make a deposit?
That's correct.
Okay. I just need you to sign here, and we're ready to go.
Okay.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange faced up to 175 years in prison.
Sent in tanks and men with guns, and they set the entire place on fire.
12 children were killed.
Actually, I think I'm going to hold off for now. This is great, dude. I'm up over 100%, and I'm not paying for Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio, Israel's wars, or any of the welfare.
Are you kidding me?
No, I swear to God. Check this out.
No way. You're making a killing. You know what, Sal? You gotta show me how you did that.
It's easy. I did it with Zano. a completely private, open-source cryptocurrency that actually scales and enables tokenized assets, aliases, and has a built-in private messenger app, DEX, and ionic swaps.
Here's to financial freedom.
Cheers.
Sláinte.
A ship full of pirates had been at sea for years, in search for a multi-currency self-custody app focused on privacy, but had lost all hope. Until one morning they came across a shoreline with the object sticking out of the sand. Inside this box of treasures would be the Edge app. Follow the treasure to Edge, where you can store, send, receive, and swap pirate chain. Because financial privacy today is freedom tomorrow.
And one of the things that I want to talk about at Moneratopia is how we can all work together to market privacy, because I put this in my my workshop. 35% or 33% of Gen Z in America are okay with the federal government installing surveillance cameras to monitor for domestic violence. So we have a generational issue. I mean, for me, I've always just assumed privacy was just a fundamental right. I've never questioned it not being a fundamental right. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you find out that there are entire generations of people that never even thought to value it, don't even understand it. And we know what the government is doing, and we know what everybody else is doing from a propaganda perspective, which is, oh, if you use a privacy coin, you are guilty by default.
This is Freedom Dollar, FUSD, the world's first privacy-focused stablecoin built on the Zano blockchain. Unlike traditional stablecoins, FUSD is decentralized, censorship-resistant, and private by default. Each FUSD is over-collateralized with Zano and pegged to the US dollar using a decentralized algorithm. There's no CEO, no company, no central authority. FUSD is governed entirely by open source code and community consensus. Anyone can run a market-making node to help maintain the peg and further decentralize the network. All collateral and peg data are transparently published and verifiable at freedomdollar.com. CBDCs and corporate stablecoins can be frozen, tracked, and censored. FUSD can't. Use FUSD to spend, save, or transfer stable value without giving up your freedom. Freedom Dollar, private, stable, unapologetically unbanked. freedomdollar.com.
Adam, tell him I'm in the studio. You said you're not there. I am now. All right, guys. Finally. My fault. I apologize to them. Look, when you do a live stream like this, it can get a little fucking hairy.
Are you live again?
I'm live. Look,
All
I'm
right.
not a technical expert. I got a team of people. We're on a fucking boat in the canal in Amsterdam, and you run into fucking problems. But look, check it out. FUSD, baby. The world's first private decentralized stablecoin ever. And actually, I was using it to buy exploding ice cream with my homeboy Quentin here, who, like me, is stuffing his face full of bread. Well,
I'm full now. I'm ready to go.
So we're in Amsterdam. And we just ate bitterballen.
Yeah, bitterballen.
But we're not here to talk about bitterballen. I didn't bring you here for the bitterballen, although it is fantastic. Tell me about confidential layer.
Just a minute. Hey, there's Justin. Holy shit, he got a handful of equipment.
He's back with battery packs. So our battery died, guys. 3 batteries.
I brought you 3 power banks and a bunch of cables.
Okay. So the problem was
My bet's on this one.
we were streaming from Adam's phone. His battery died. We started streaming from my phone. My battery died. Now we're streaming from my iPad, which is at 14%. My main man, Justin, who's a local, he knows all the people around here. He went to get some battery packs for us. So he just arrived. He just returned. Confidential layer. They need to know about it because it's so fucking revolutionary. 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yes.
That's when it will launch?
Yeah, they say it's, I mean, there's no official date yet, but July. So, and July only has 2 weeks left, right? So
Confidential layer is what?
Confidential layer is the bridge that connects popular blockchains like Bitcoin, EVM blockchains like Ethereum, with the Zano blockchain, so that you can actually bridge your favorite assets over without having to swap them. So you can just keep them, but bridge them to another blockchain like Zano.
Okay. He's back.
We did it.
Cool.
We are so back. We got all the batteries.
We're slightly back.
We got everything we need.
We're slightly back.
This audio is probably horrible, but the vibes are top.
The vibes are fire. The technical production is very poor.
Leaves a bit to be desired, but sooner will be excellent again.
And it's not the fault of anybody, like our producer or anybody else. It was just when you live stream, there's problems.
I actually thought it was your fault, but
it probably was. It most definitely was. We were just talking about confidential layer, though.
Okay, let's go.
Private tokenized assets. Game changer, in my opinion. Drops in 2 weeks on Zano. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to start getting repetitive here. I just can't get excited unless you put that into something.
Private tokens, bro. RWA's real world assets.
Okay, but what do you need the
stocks and bonds, equities?
What do you need the virtual machine
for? To create DeFi. Oh, actually, we were talking about this before. Let me tie it back.
He loves DeFi
because actually we were talking about before. Because I mean, before the stream cut off, you said
speak louder for these guys.
You said P2P cash, right?
Yeah.
P2P cash is like the vision, and I was saying how like with BTC being perverted and murdered along the way, like that dream kind of died and like lost a lot of that momentum. And I think now the path, like I still believe in P2P cash in the long run, ultimately being like the ultimate use case, but I think the path towards it has changed. I think DeFi is now like the stepping stone towards money. That's how I view it, because like it's very difficult to make a case for people in a place like this in the developed world where our money systems work well. And if we're being honest, you need ideological reasons to adopt this system if your money systems work well enough. Right? If we're being really honest here.
So well, the initial adopters
do. No. Like, if it just works, why would people switch? Right. But whereas with DeFi, it's different. With DeFi, we can actually offer products that the banks can't offer. And that's what I was saying before. Take a stable coin, put it in your wallet. An algorithmic stable coin like Freedom Dollar, I think that's excellent. and that way, and then offer yield on top of that. Like that would be the next stage. And I suppose that's where I'm coming from. Like, so to keep it in Zano, I guess I would need the VM in order to get yield on that stable coin. And is that possible?
No, hold on.
How would you do that?
No, when you say yields,
yes,
you can. One of the more traditional critiques of a proof of stake chain, or just proof of stake in general, is that it sort of tends towards oligarchy. But Zano, and in fairness, Sphero as well, bypass this criticism by allowing anyone to stake any amount for however long they want.
It doesn't, like, actually, when people say this, I tend to bite the bullet on it. I think the more accurate maybe would be plutocracy. But I think, yeah, I mean, blockchains are inherently not democratic, right? Because we can't have one person, one vote. That's just not how these things work. We can't even identify individuals on a blockchain. How the hell are we supposed to do anything democratic? No, this is, these systems are more plutocratic and oligarchic in nature. I don't really see it as a criticism.
Yeah,
right?
but if anyone can stake, if I can stake 3 Zano,
right,
for however long I want, that is not emblematic of
you can do that on
plutocracy.
Ethereum and Solana too, right?
I think the whole oligarchy argument is a bit of a non-argument, right? Because I can either buy more coins, and of course, because I have more coins, I get staking rewards more frequently.
Yeah.
Or I buy more GPUs or whatever the fuck I buy to get hash rate, and I get more mining rewards because of the GPUs that I have. So it's why would proof of stake be more oligarchic than proof of work?
No, it's actually like, I think the way you measure it is you look at the distribution of power. So you go like, how many parties does it take in an equivalent proof of stake system versus an equivalent proof of work system to say overthrow the system, or how many individual parties are in control? I would argue that a proof of work system is actually more oligarchic than a proof of stake system.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of economies of scale, right? Like, because of economies of scale, like the majority of hash rates is going to be of like, I don't know, 20 industrialists or something.
No,
That's not decentralized.
Point. You're 100% right. I never actually thought about that.
Yeah, with proof of stake, anyone can just stake and stake their coins and participate. And there's no like weird, I have cheaper electricity because I have a special deal with the government. None of those advantages. We're all equal before the blockchain, right?
Right.
So proof of stake, that's why proof of stake is fair and it's more decentralized. I don't see the arguments. And yes, it's oligarchic, yes, it's plutocratic, but proof of work is more oligarchic and more plutocratic, right? So if we really want to get objective about how we measure things.
I also think that most people, they have objectives. They don't agree with how proof of stake is set up in Ethereum, right? You need, what is it, 32 ETH to run a node? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with Zano, you can actually stake from...
Yeah. But there's a reason for that.
Literally from one Zano.
Yeah, but that creates problems, right? Because
on a full proof of stake chain, that would create problems. That's why Zano is hybrid proof of work.
No, but it would create problems either way. Because if you allow that many validators in a system, the communication bottleneck will just clog down anything. Like, you just can't. Like, the reason why you have the 32F limit is because that would, that if you calculate the total supply divided by 32F, then you can have like maximum amount of validators. And like the networking just can't support that many validators. And like, I would go even further and say, like, I actually want validators to have more stake in the game. I actually like high limits and lock-in periods when it comes to these things. But this is more of a governance. I'm getting in the weeds here.
Yeah. I'm not, look, it's already over my head, so it's probably over y'all's head. Let's get back to utility. I want to talk about, all I want to talk about is privacy and screwing politicians. All right. Confidential layer. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We launch.
First stage, yes.
What does that mean?
First stage means they will open the bridge from Bitcoin and a few EVM blockchains like Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain.
Will that satisfy you?
No. I mean, stop asking me the question if you don't like the answer. You know, it's very like straightforward.
Yeah, but it's going to be it's going to be private.
Yeah, great.
So what's that should solve your issues?
No, because it needs to be on a VM. Like you need to have a VM in order to create a DeFi. What you want is you want a single composable state, and then you want all of these different. You want all of these different programs to be able to like interact with each other in this state. So you might have like a wallet contract, right, which then interacts with like a lending and borrowing protocol, which interacts with a stablecoin protocol.
But why would that all need to be on one chain? Why? Because that's what I like about something like confidential layer. You can actually take the best part,
right?
But the best parts of every blockchain.
There's major UX and major trust trade-offs as soon as you leave that state. That's also the problem with like a lot of L2 scaling or like bridging and stuff. This is not a good UX. It's not a good experience. And it introduces massive trust trade-offs in most cases, right? Like it's a completely different set of trade-offs.
What would be the trust trade-off?
Well, most bridges are just straight up trusted, right?
Yeah,
but like I'm not sure. So this, I would assume they use some sort of separate consensus in order to achieve the bridge, right?
Yeah, so there's the bridges layer 1.
Yeah.
And basically, if you operate a node, all the nodes of the bridges layer 1, they basically make sure that the confidential layer bridge functions, right?
Right.
So there's two technologies here: threshold signatures and Shamir shared secret.
Yeah. Okay.
And basically, what it means is that no central party has access to the reserved wallet where the native assets are stored, but the key to those wallets is like broken into 100 pieces if there's, for example, 100
So
nodes.
then
it's like a federated system.
So in that case, it's a federated system.
Yeah,
so you just move from a decentralized, trustless blockchain to a federated system. I don't think that's a trade-off we should take lightly, right? Because if that's what you need to do in order to get yield, is you need to move it to another blockchain, pay fees to another blockchain, tell people to like sit with a custodian or like a federated system instead. Like that's not good. I want Turing completeness within the layer 1 so that it can all be trustless, so that it all can be immutable, so that we don't need to make these terrible trade-offs.
Yeah, but on these EVMs you don't have any privacy, so it's like I agree with you that it's not like a perfect solution, but nothing in blockchain is a perfect solution.
Well, I think that
it's always about trade-offs, and I think this gets pretty damn near perfection. Like, compared to what already exists.
Not being able to support DeFi, which I think is like the number one use case for crypto, is not perfection.
He's got a hard on for DeFi.
Yeah, I do. I clearly do.
He does.
I know
I clearly do.
So I really think, again, P2P Cash is that killer use case, and I'm not convinced that we need an all-in-one blockchain. I also, from an Agorist perspective, I appreciate the fact that we can tokenize things privately. To me, that's huge because, again, not to beat a dead horse, tokenizing stocks and bonds is a game changer. That will get rid of the FINRA cartel at the SEC. Okay, there's no way for FINRA to survive the tokenization of stocks and bonds on a private blockchain. The SEC they will struggle to survive at that point. You read my mind. Thank you, sir. You're a good man. There aren't many of us left. All right. Relax.
We're having a party.
A gentleman and a scholar. But to me, that's really the killer use case for confidential layer. I'm not like. I think it's great that people can come in and out of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Think about it like this. You could take your Solana. Justin loves Solana. We're going to talk about that in a moment.
I know,
You said I got a big head?
Definitely not my most popular opinion amongst the cypherpunk crowd, but I'll stand by it.
But now with confidential layer, you can actually take your Solana and...
Get low, guys. This one's
It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's low. So you can actually take your Solana, tokenize, you can wrap it up in Zano, send it to a fresh address, and unwrap it.
Okay. And you need to go through the federated bridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the issue with the federated bridge?
What's the problem with that?
I would much rather just go from Solana to a privacy privacy protocol on Solana.
Is
Like,
it-
because
but
then
then-
I don't make
is
any
there one?
adjustments.
But then you're just
There
using
are
a
some,
mixer,
yes.
right? It's just a mixer. So
Sure.
And now you're subject to legal
So the
legal-
privacy is weak.
Sure, it's weak.
So
And look,
it can still be traced.
And I'm just going to call it out there. The state of Solana privacy right now is not that great. There's certain key limitations in terms of what we can do around ZK. I'm hoping that improves. But yeah, no, the state of, I mean, we can do confidential transactions on Solana. That was really cool. This can be done natively. But there's a bunch more things missing from that equation in order to really.
But would you say that the best way to, what's the word I'm looking for here, that's not going to get anyone in trouble?
No, go ahead.
Clean up your Solana or your whatever, any pseudonymous chain is confidential layer? Or it will be in 2 weeks?
I mean, if you ask me, like, from a technical perspective, like, I mean,
is there a better solution? He admits it. He sold, guys. That's it. Justin Bonds. He's in on confidential layer.
No. I do think that, like, if you have a privacy solution that's native to that R1, then that's in theory a better solution, right? Because then you don't have to go.
But
through...
there isn't one.
Well, there are, but it was a correct observation that they're not as high quality as in terms of what Zano can do. But also, like Zano can't support DeFi. Zano doesn't have the capacity to scale, so it's not really competing in that game, right? Like the game in terms of what is the prominent crypto, like what crypto is getting the most revenue, what crypto can grow, like what is
whatever Michael
decentralization?
Saylor is buying like fucking 500 million of. Whoa, this one's really
No, it's not it, right?
Hello.
Because Bitcoin is not an example of like what's being used. Like Bitcoin is not an example of like where applications are happening, right?
Bitcoin's not being used.
Right, but like Solana is being used.
Yeah.
Solana is being used, and Ethereum to a lesser extent is being used, right? Whereas like Zano, and I'm going to be a bit harsh here. I'm sorry.
Turn that thing up.
Whereas Zano can't be used in that way. Like it just can't. It technically can't.
Wait. Insofar as what? Like
it lacks the capacity, it lacks the programmability to fulfill the role in the market that Solana does, right?
What, of like meme coins?
And DeFi.
of meme coins? I'm just talking
meme coin DeFi. No, it's fair.
I mean, really,
But I don't think Zano tries to be like a private version of Solana.
Right. And I think that's a mistake.
It's just different use cases.
No, I think you should. You should be the
he
private
loves Solana. He loves Solana.
At least Zano can't be shut off, right? Like Solana.
Okay, hold on. You're going there. You're going to go there. Let's go there.
That was the low step.
No. I'll defend it. How many
Give
validators
me that
does Zano
towel
have?
or something. The what? Yellow towel? Yeah.
How many validators does Zano have? Real talk here.
Your jacket's
Validators.
cooked.
Yeah, how many validators?
Honestly, I don't know.
Right.
I have no idea.
I mean, if I were to guess,
I mean, every full node wallet is like every desktop wallet is automatically a full node because the Zano blockchain.
But a full node is not a validator.
It's like,
right?
I mean, we don't have validator nodes.
You do. In a mining system, the validators are the block producers or the pools specifically. That's like the equivalent.
So you're talking about the amount of stakers and the amount of miners.
Yes. If you combine those two numbers, like how many validators do you have?
I'd say 1,000.
But Justin,
I know for a fact that there's like over 1,000 miners and.
No, but there's not over 1,000 pools, right? There's going to be like less than 20.
Oh
pools.
no! There's
yeah, because you have to count the pool nodes as individual validators.
Right. Yeah. And like the pools have.
Nice, I saw that.
My point is, and in response to like, and this is not due to the design, it's due to the scale, but I would argue Zano is obviously a lot easier to take down than Solana is today. And that's because of size. That's because of the success of the underlying applications. That's just part of what makes a blockchain resilient.
Solana's been around for a long time, though. Whereas Zano really just kind of, it's been around for a while, but only took off in the last couple of years.
But it literally, it's not in the game. Like, it's like, if an application develops, like, I'm going to build Zano, I want to build DeFi on Zano, they would just rightfully decide, no, I'm not going to do that because the capacity isn't there.
Again, though, I'm not sold on the idea that DeFi is the killer app.
But what you're doing is now you're saying Zano doesn't do DeFi. That's for you guys, and those guys are making like unbelievable revenue and have massive security budgets and have the most decentralized blockchains in
it's about
virtual
utility.
scale.
It's not about money.
But because of utility, that's what I'm saying. Utility is the key underpinning for decentralization and security, right? Like utility is what drives the revenue for decentralization and security. And like if the biggest utility is DeFi, Zano is leaving that on the table.
I'd have to respectfully disagree. I think that all of that is just useless without privacy, right? You keep saying like, yes, scalability,
but
TPS.
It's important. I
It's
agree.
cool,
No, but I agree.
have different priorities.
But I agree. But this is why I think the way I do is because I think it's going to be a lot easier for Solana or something like Solana to add privacy in a few years, right? On top of what is already a programmable and highly scalable blockchain, than it will for Zano in a few years to become highly scalable and programmable. That's the bet I'm making. That's why I have the position that I do.
I highly doubt that privacy will be on the level of Zano's.
Here's the thing. No,
it doesn't need to be on the same level, right?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. In just the very recent past, Zano has made strides towards becoming a faster, a quicker blockchain.
That's fair.
What strides has Solana made in the recent history towards becoming more private?
Massive strides.
Tell me.
In particular, confidential transactions. And this actually ties into my prediction as well, is that if you have programmability and if you have extremely high throughput, then rationally it makes sense that from that we can start to create combinations of code and transactions that are in fact private. And that's exactly what Solana achieved. Solana was able to achieve, but not because it was specifically designed to do that, but by virtue of its programmability and scalability, we now have full confidential transactions on Solana. And that's amazing. It's progress. It's nowhere near what Zano or Monero is capable of doing, right? But that's a recent example of what I would say is a really big step forward.
Guys, you're watching the Subversive Spectrum. This is a very special episode from the sloop on the canals in Amsterdam, where I have brought you the top experts in the European cryptocurrency scene, including my main man, Justin Bonds, and Mr. Quibbs. And they are here to bring solutions for you guys and to discuss the latest in blockchain tech. Give me a like and a share. Send this to your mother and your brother and your sister, your cousins, your aunts, and your uncles, because everybody needs to know this information. We have half hour, 45 minutes left, something like that. So what I'm thinking of is we spend the remaining time letting these guys tell me what they think is the most important innovations in privacy technology. Because to be fair, they're both a lot smarter than I am. So who wants to go first?
The most important innovations in privacy.
Like in recent history.
Like what already happened or what's coming?
Both. What are you excited about right now in the cypherpunk world? What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Okay.
And speak loud because our technicals are a little fucked up right now. How are we doing back there, by the way? Are we okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to an ad and we can switch?
No.
Okay, how long? Chop, chop.
Because you switch and then you're going to have to switch back when it dies again. I would just go.
10 minutes. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Most, what gets you out of bed in the morning in terms of the cypherpunk ethos?
For me, that would be two things. One would be confidential layer bridge, because I'm just very excited to have all those blockchains that people love, all those assets that people love, but a private version of it on the Zano blockchain. And second thing would be full chain membership proofs, which makes.
Is that coming to Zano?
Yes, I mean I can't say definitively yes, but we're researching it, and we want to bring it to Zano. But because of Zarkadam, so the confidential assets technology that we have, it makes it a bit more complicated to implement full chain membership proofs onto the Zano blockchain, into our code base. compared to Monero because they don't have assets; they just have Monero, of course. But yes, we're researching it, and I am very excited about it because it would make the privacy extremely good.
It would increase it would enhance the current level of privacy.
Yes. So like right now, you have ring signatures on both Zano and Monero, and both cryptocurrencies have 16 rings, right? So it means you basically one of those 16 is the real transaction, and 15 decoys are involved, which is pretty good privacy. But it can be much better, right? So
so for you guys who aren't familiar, tell them what a full chain membership proof is.
So a full chain membership proof basically is a replacement for ring signatures, where instead of having your transaction like hidden amongst 15 decoys, basically it gets hidden amongst the entire blockchain history, amongst the entire transaction history of the blockchain.
So it increases the anonymity set from 16 to like a factor of whatever the fuck.
And with Zano, it's super cool because not only does Zano contribute to the anonymity set, but also all the confidential assets like Freedom Dollar or the private version of Bitcoin, private version of Ethereum, whatever asset is launched on Zano, they all contribute to the same anonymity set. So, yes, I'm very excited about that.
What are you looking at in the privacy world nowadays? Speak loudly.
I think the ZK stuff is really interesting. Like anything zero knowledge. I know people have been harping on about it for a long time. Honestly, we're probably still like a decade away from the zero knowledge stuff really working out, just because the time to compute the proof just takes too long as it is now. But in the long run, if you really think about what zero knowledge is able to do, in the long run, like the sky's the limit actually with that tech, because we can actually kind of have our cake and eat it too, right? We can verify things without knowing the thing. And like that opens up just a world of possibilities. Just we're not there yet.
But ZK's been around for a while, though.
Yes, it's been around for a while, and just to compute the proofs just takes way too long right now. So we need more breakthroughs, either in hardware or like in how we do the software as well. So like realistically, I'm not particularly bullish on ZK, let's say, for the next few years. But after that, yeah, maybe things will start to get
so short term, medium term, no, but maybe long term, yes.
Long term, I think ZK technology is kind of inevitable. Like there's some key aspects of it that really allow us to do some really insane things in terms of privacy. Like you could have like a DAO, for example, in which you would like hide the votes and hide the assets and like hide the logic. You could hide everything and it would still work in this kind of trustless way. That is exciting. Like the new use cases, the new type of, let's say, dark DAOs that might open up is actually
I like that.
Really exciting. Yeah, really exciting.
Lunar DAO.
Maybe let's not call it that.
Well, have you heard of Lunar DAO?
Oh no, I haven't. Actually.
Really?
The
Lunar DAO.
Okay, it sounds a little bit too much like Luna to me. It's giving me PTSD.
Do you know Amir Taki?
Of course I know Amir Taki. So I love Amir Taki.
So Amir's working on the whole
DarkFi.
Yeah.
I know about DarkFi.
And Lunar DAO, I think, is part of all that.
I see. Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wish you didn't name it that, but okay. No. Amir Taki's doing some really interesting work. I haven't really had the time to like look deeper into like the ins and outs and like what actually works, what doesn't, etc. So, but Amir Taki's, I know on some level he's kind of the heart and soul. And,
he literally is
of this movement. I look at him that way, you know.
If you're not following him, you should be at Neurotism, I believe.
Yeah. If you type in Amir Taki, you'll find him.
Yeah, you'll find him.
Yeah. Great man.
Now, underneath confidential layer, there's a base. Explain how this works. So there's Bridgeless, right? You should follow at Bridgeless. They sort of, I might be getting this completely wrong. They provide the software undergirding confidential layer, but confidential layer is not the only blockchain using this software. Am I correct or no?
Yes and no. So Bridgeless is a layer 1 blockchain, right? That powers the bridge. And I don't know why there's two separate names for it, bridgeless and confidential layer.
We took a picture of this bridge. Remember?
Oh yeah,
We
wow,
did.
it's this bridge.
At like 2
Yeah,
a.m.
now I remember.
Yes. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, nice. No, but yes, so bridgeless layer 1 is blockchain, basically, and the nodes of the bridgeless layer 1, they power the bridge, which is named confidential layer. If it was up to me, I would just name it same thing.
Wait. So the L1 validators, they secure the bridge?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I would call an enshrined bridge then.
A what?
Enshrined. That's the term that we use.
What's that?
So in blockchain design, when you take a feature that is usually done by like an application, if you enshrine it, it means you now make it the responsibility of the L1. So for example, a common example is like an enshrined rollup. So an enshrined rollup is where the L1 validators validate the rollup instead of it being like a separate thing. So yeah, so you're basically enshrining the bridge, which is very interesting. Tell me more.
Right. So it's like many people think that confidential layer is building on top of Zano, which it kind of is, but you could say the same about it's building on top of Bitcoin, it's building on top of Ethereum, it's basically building on top of everything that's
just
being
using
plugged
that
into
blockchain.
it. Yeah. So Zano is not like empowering the confidential layer bridge. All that it does is Zano is being used to upgrade existing assets with the privacy and security of the Zano blockchain, right? Because you're bridging the asset to the Zano blockchain. So in that way, Zano is used. So Zano is basically the privacy enabler of this bridge. And confidential layer doesn't, at the start, so in 2 weeks, Zano will be the first and only privacy blockchain that is enabled onto it, because Zano is one of the very first blockchains that has confidential assets technology. But there are also other blockchains like Firo working on Spark assets, like Zcash working on their own privacy tokens. And their vision is to eventually, when those blockchains are ready as well, to have this like web that interconnects all these transparent blockchains that are popular, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, whatever, and these private blockchains like at the start just Zano, but later on also other privacy blockchains.
Do you know if it's the full validator set that's securing the bridge, or is it like a subset?
Like full set as in what?
Like are all the validators involved in securing that bridge, or is it like a randomized selection of the validators?
That I don't know. I do know that like for transactions to be verified, like 60 or 70% of the validator nodes need to.
Of the Zano validator nodes, or the bridge validators?
Bridgeless, yes.
Okay, but they're two different things then, right? So it's a separate subset. It's a separate subset of Zano validators then.
There is no Zano validators. There's just Zano blockchain is just used like to bridge. Let's say you're gonna lock Bitcoin in the Bitcoin blockchain.
Yeah.
And then the bridge recognizes that you indeed locked, let's say 0.5 BTC. Then it mints the equivalent on the Zano blockchain if you're bridging towards Zano.
Right. So, but then that bridge then has the key to that Bitcoin, right? Is that like some sort of MPC, like multi-party computation set up that ensures the security of the key, or how's that done? Do you know? It's not trusted, right?
It's not trusted.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no.
So it must be some sort of like MPC setup that's multi-party computation. It's when you get multiple parties, and then the private key kind of exists between them in the ether a little bit, so to speak. I want to do it in a very simplistic explanation of it.
Yeah, there's two technologies here: threshold signatures and true shared secrets.
Yeah.
Those are used.
Yeah, that's a type of MPC.
In this bridge, yes. So there's never one centralized party that can access the funds that are locked on the native blockchain.
But it sounds like if it's not the full validator set, like there's a difference, right? If it's the full validator set, great. Now you have equivalent security to Zano. If it's a subset and it's not randomized, now you only have a subset of security. If the validators are selected by the protocol, now it's permission, now it's a federation. Do you see how these details, they make a huge difference, right? In terms of what this actually is, right?
Yeah.
And what the security of it is.
I'd love to invite you for a conversation with Pavel.
Yeah, you mentioned this.
First. I would say let's do that, because clearly you're more technical. You have more technical knowledge than I do, and Pavel is, he knows a lot about this stuff. So I'd love to see, because
you talk to Andre too.
Or Andre, yes, Andre could be
So,
do you know Andre?
So are those the guys I need to convince for them to add to add the Solana virtual machine onto Zano?
Basically, yes. So Andre,
I mean, we're not saying that we're never gonna introduce a virtual machine on Zano. It would just be a lot of work, and the opinion of Zano is that we don't need it.
So here's another spicy question.
But I agree with that, though.
Who decides?
Who decides
Yeah.
what?
Who decides what goes or what doesn't go onto Zano? Is there decentralized governance, or is it just another GitHub
because
dictatorship?
it would be a terrible idea to have your community members vote on matters that they don't properly understand.
So dictatorship is better?
If you want to put it that black and white.
You just have one person that decides for everyone else what the rules of the system are.
No. But a dictatorship of consumers. Because if the consumers, if the people using the chain don't like it, they won't use, the price will go down, and then
Right.
the
So
developers will have no
therefore,
choice.
it's okay to have a dictatorship because you can move away if you want to, right? It's still a dictatorship.
Flog him again. Where's that rope?
One unique thing of Amsterdam, the dancing, drunken, or gay houses.
Dancing drunken gay houses. Stop the boat, please. I have to get off. Oh, the Irish.
And dancing because the Raymond Square is here behind.
Mulligans.
Yeah.
So
remember that.
the captain just told us about the drunken dance gay houses.
Irish gay
Irish
houses.
gay houses.
Adam's actually swimming through the canal right now in a beeline to get there.
We're actually going past another interesting monument that I can give you guys a little history on. If you like.
Where?
The building just behind us. Do you mind? Can I pick this up and just show the audience?
Please,
what's over
yes,
the bridge?
please.
You'll like this.
Yeah, but just let him finish this thought.
Yeah. So actually, the building we're about to go past in Dutch, it's known as the Munt, and actually the Munt, in Dutch just means the coin, and this is the building where they would mint all of the coins in Amsterdam. So I thought it was kind of like fitting. So if you look just behind me, there's a beautiful spire, by the way, that you see just on the right-hand side. I'm not sure if it's the same for you guys, but on that spire, that's actually with us to coin all of the coins here in Amsterdam. And only about 500 meters from in that direction, actually, maybe we'll have a chance to get a bit closer to it later today. But that's actually where the first stock exchange is. So a lot of history in this city. So it's a poetic backdrop. There you go, people.
We have much more to discuss on that subject and more. We have about at least 20 minutes, half hour left on this stream. We're going to take a quick break, guys. A very, very, very quick and rapid break. I need another drink, and I got to take a leak, and maybe get some more food. So give me like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and we're going to get set up. I'm going to improve this audio and visual quality for you as well. It'll look a lot better. You can hear us a lot better. But guys, check out Amsterdam. What a beautiful city. It's one of my favorite cities in the world, guys. All right, we will be right back. I hope my producer is watching this so he can cut to something for you guys. But either way, I'll be right back.
Now we are dealing with a possible world war. Some will say we are already in a world war. My condolences and prayers go out to everyone suffering under tyranny. It really sucks. I'm really sorry. But it seems as if people are starting to wake up regarding crypto more and more each day. And so it's in the description right here to read, where we give our secret sauce and what we teach our subscribers, because things are just that bad. You know, everyone needs this information. People need to know about sound cryptocurrencies that are actually private by default, and to know how to properly use crypto.
I'm Sal the Agorist, and if you've been around here long enough, you know I don't just talk privacy, I live it. To me, privacy isn't some buzzword or marketing gimmick. It's a non-negotiable part of living free, opting out, and taking back control of your financial life. That's why I'm excited about this. Zano, one of the most private blockchains in crypto, is now available in Edge Wallet, a self-custody crypto wallet that actually respects your sovereignty. Zano is a fully shielded blockchain. Everything you do on it is private by design. We're talking encrypted transactions, hidden addresses, and confidential transaction amounts on the blockchain. That's next level privacy. And now with Edge, using Zano is actually simple. You can store, send, and trade Zano directly inside the Edge app. Fully self-custody, no personal information required, and no tracking of sends and receives into and out of your account.
Let me say that again. With Edge, you don't need to trust a third party or hand over your ID just to hold your own money. That's how it should be. Most Zano wallets have you write down a 26-word seed phrase, but Edge does it differently. You log in with a secure username and password that only you have access to. Edge doesn't store any of this information themselves, and everything gets encrypted locally on your device. That's self-custody made usable, and if you ever need to, you can always access your seed phrase in the app at any time.
Getting started takes seconds. Download the Edge app, create a PIN, tap to add a Zano wallet, and you're done. No custodians, no leaks, no friction. And here's the best part. Edge automatically encrypts and backs up your wallet using secure peer-to-peer cloud servers. Your data is never exposed, and Edge can't access your info in any usable form. If something happens to your device, just reinstall the app, log in with your username and password, and everything's right where you left it. You can even enable one-touch two-factor authentication for extra security. And there's a built-in password recovery option so you don't have to risk losing access forever. Edge also supports other privacy coins like Monero, Zcash, Firo, and R. So if privacy is your thing, this is the wallet you have to get.
If you're an Agorist, a builder, a voluntarist, a freedom maxi, or just anyone who wants their financial life off the radar, this is the stack for you. Zano gives you confidential transactions. Edge gives you user-friendly, private self-custody. Together, this is the way that cryptocurrency was meant to work. Download Edge at dl.edge.app/sal and add Zano. And take back control of your money without compromise. Because privacy is no longer optional, it's your Edge.
I appreciate your patience with us. It is a, when you stream live, it's not just like a lot of technical issues. Good?
We double check audio.
Get back over here. Get over here. Yes! In the back! Why do I hear an echo? This thing? This thing? All right, how's that? Okay. Salt the mic. Don't want to spill that. Or that one's yeah, my jacket. Yeah, your jacket's done, bro. That's done. It's cooked. Q3. When is Q3? It's Q3. Soon. 3 quarters into the No, I know what it is, but when is it? Okay. So Solana should be coming to confidential layer soon. So I know it's on. It does. There we go. Okay. Yeah, done. I'm bringing it right here. And we already spoke about that. Whether or not that brings a sufficient level of privacy to the chain. Some other things I wanted to cover: ecosystems and different use cases for confidential layer. My big one is stocks and bonds, trading badger. Get rid of the SEC cartel. Cross-chain swaps. Let me read this. Cross-chain swaps of native coins
that allows connecting several transactions into one, making the whole ecosystem more robust and easy to understand. Can you score me on that? No. Okay. These are my notes here. Transaction bundle. Essentially, guys, it's a special episode of the Subversive Spectrum, live on the canals in Amsterdam. This is we've never streamed off-site before like this. Or no, we did. We streamed in Portfest. But today we are live from Amsterdam. That's why it's so early that you guys are at. Normally we stream every Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Today it's a different ball game. But I thought given the scenery and the guests, we were going to be good to go. What are you giving me the number?
Tomorrowland's on fire.
What?
The main stage at Tomorrowland's on fire.
We're traveling through Europe and we're eventually heading towards Tomorrowland. Adam was super down. So I don't know what. I guess I'm staying with one of you guys. I don't know. But thank you.
I thought you meant like on fire, as in like the stage on fire, like going well. But like,
No, it's bad. It's bad. What's like? Oh, it's burnt down. It's gone. So there goes that, Adam.
I have no idea what happens now. I'm kind of in disbelief.
Look at this picture.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't think.
Look at this, Adam.
This is safe. It's gone.
I like when people talk me into things. Come to Amsterdam. Let's go to Tomorrowland. We'll travel around Europe for a few weeks. And I'm stuck with these guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to Belgium.
Yeah, I know. All right. Well, let's go back to Linus because that's what we're going to discuss. My main man Justin is a big fan of Solana. You said something interesting. You and I were both at a conference earlier this year, and we actually made a strong case that Solana is a cypherpunk chain. That is a unique position, to say the least. Why do you feel that?
I think it's useful maybe to go back to the definition. I think we've got different definitions of cypher. The definition that I like using often is that to be a cypherpunk is to be an advocate of empowering, privacy-enhancing technologies for widespread adoption, right? Like we want this to go to the masses. I think and that aspect, the aspect of widespread adoption, I think Solana should be celebrated because actually, like if we're all just like spinning our own wheels and not actually masses, then I don't think we're the best cycle. So I think Solana should be applauded for being like the number one chain in terms of usage or revenue, probably the number of users as well. Like that's meaningful. That means we're actually bringing more people into the cryptocurrency, and that's also why I don't consider BTC to be particularly cyber because it doesn't scale. Like it doesn't scale. Fantasy, like that's self-custody. Just fantasizing, keeping to the evolution. That's like what's really changing right now. What's really moving right now, I think, are chains like Solana, Sui, and generation chains. That's what actually gets me excited. Now we're getting more people that are using censorship resistant, immutable, permissionless, decentralized money. That is still not as private as Zano, nowhere near as private as Zano, but it's still far more private if they use it correctly than say a banking system. Right? So like that's a victory, and that's a victory I'll gladly take and celebrate. So yeah, I think Solana is a huge win for the cypherpunk vision, far more so than my perspective, for even something like BTC and Ethereum. Is they're not already using phenomenally that you get strong
That embodies the cypherpunk ethos or not?
Because you would be in the minority.
Yeah, I'd say no. But then I also must be honest and say that I don't know a lot about Solana. So I'm not really in a position to comment on this. From what I've heard is that something like Solana is fast because it is so soft. I think it's terrible.
But like we didn't say it. Like I would say Solana is probably the third most or fourth most decentralized blockchain out there. Right? That's not centralized. That's very
It's not really fun to me. It's like I need to do some research myself.
I mean,
what it's really
well,
like.
just a few descriptors. Just it's permissionless, right?
I mean, I'd love if I could join this conversation and say something new.
So like it's permissionless, right? It's censorship resistant, right? It has over I think it's 1,400 validators right now, which is actually a lot. That makes it like,
But it's not private. It's not private.
Right.
And if you want to stay close to the cyberpunk ethos, you need to have privacy in the way that
people used to call Bitcoin private, right? Now we all understand that it's not according to today's standards. No, I understand, and you're right. It doesn't have the same degree of privacy as, but I can still purchase Solana in person. Right? I can still run through Mix. I can still explore my IP. But I can't do all of those things.
I told the government arrest the guys who wrote the code for the mixer.
No, this is the thing. Now, this is the key thing. They arrested the guy that wrote the mixer. But the mixer, right? But the mixer is still running. The mixer is still online. The mixer is literally unstoppable. You can still go use Tornado Cash today, even though the guys that created are in jail. Like that's kind of the point.
Yeah,
like that's
no
a
doubt,
good thing.
no doubt.
That's part of the power.
5,000%.
And you know, in principle, I agree. Yes, we should have privacy, and we should have programmability, and we should have scalability. I want us to have all of it. You know, and I'm just thinking about what is the quickest path towards that capability. That's really what's important.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You know, look. Again, you make a strong case. I don't necessarily disagree with anything you're saying. For me, the thing is this. I've watched my friends get arrested. I've watched the big into Alexi and Raj and Amy and Ron. And I thought to myself, and not only that, but like the persecution of major institutions pointed to cracking by the SEC. They came down on all of these major large institutions. And I thought to myself, being certainty is not sufficient. It's great. Definitely.
I believe 99% of people all Everest are somehow linked. So, and you can say, yes, I know what I'm doing, and I will not screw up, but somehow, like somewhere in the future, you just need to fuck up once, and you can be back, like they can track it all backwards.
I mean, to be fair, when we're talking about exotic cryptography, right? I mean, green signatures do have a history of these things being exploited and the anonymity of the past, like being revealed, right? Like this has happened before in the past with green signatures specifically. Right? So, like, I think there's risks all around. Always, right? And when we talk about exotic cryptography, I don't know. Maybe if my life depended on it, maybe I would still choose a mixer just because of the off chance that in 10 years from now that exotic
over base layer.
Sorry?
Oh, you would choose a mixer over what?
A mixer over a exotic cryptographic scheme, because that cryptographic scheme might be exploited in the future. Or like,
Give me an example.
Well, ring signatures is a good example. So if you compare, like,
that's exotic though. Everybody uses rings.
Well, I would say ring signatures is exotic. It could be, say, Dashes, say, types. So the Dashes has a simple mixer set, right, where they're just mixing your points. Whereas Monero does rely on some more exotic cryptography, and it was exploited in the past. So the people that mixed their points with Dash in 2013 are better off than the people that used Monero in 2013.
What about something say exotic. I think of something like a Fero's Atlantis sport. That seems to me that's been around for a while, so it works pretty well.
I'm not sure what it's based on. But like, I would consider zero knowledge exotic crypto. I would consider like, big signatures. Exotic crypto. It's not a simple elliptic for shout You're doing a lot more. Also lowering bits.
Right.
Just say this is all around, right? Like it's just anything. It's so dirty. Knowledge. And look, and there might not be a better option. I'll say something good about Zano as far as privacy points go. Zano is great, and maybe Zano is the best possible solution. That if you're sitting in Solana DeFi, you want to go private.
Justin Bond said it. Zano is the best possible solution. You heard it. Cut the tape. That's it.
You're going to because I have more good things to say. Like maybe something like Zano is the best solution. Just a widget to Zano, obscure what you're doing, bring back into Solana. Maybe in the future we'll get better privacy solutions on Solana. Maybe in the future,
that's my point. Right.
Or maybe in the future we'll get better programmability and scalability on Zano.
1,000%.
No one knows the future yet, I'm sure. And I think that's part of the beauty of it.
Guys, you're watching a very special episode of the Subversive Spectrum. We are live from a sloop of Amsterdam canals. We're discussing privacy with top leaders, top thinkers in European cryptos. Bond, Quib. Guys, any final thought? I think that's going for a while. I don't even know. I drank too much wine. The captain's yelling at me.
No. You have 5 minutes left.
Okay. You're on stream. Say hello.
6,000 people there.
Hello. Hello, you all. We did a 4-hour wonderful trip through Amsterdam.
Once.
We've seen every canal.
All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Anything you want to promote? Tell the audience about? Anything you want to promote yourselves? Now is the time to do it.
No.
I'd say, but only if I believe in it, though. Oh, because I believe in it, though.
Oh, yes, so do I. And I actually really like this conversation with Justin Robs here at great to have that a bit skeptical about things like sharp, so I really enjoy things like let's do this again. That's what
And I think in crypto, like that's like not having open conversations with critics. I think that speaks for that community as well. That just like massive like that, like that shows that this is not a cultish environment. That's something you want to avoid. You want to think, and I do get that appreciation.
Where can people follow you?
Oh yeah, you can follow me on X on Justin_Bonds. That's me on X. If you really want to invest in an old centralized liquid token fund based in the Netherlands under the evil auspices of the Dutch government, then you can find us at Cyber.
He does himself in service, guys. I will vouch for him. I promise you. It's not financial advice. One of the top performing funds in Europe, not just crypto, just in general. Check it out. He gets I vouch for him. It's my endorsement.
Let's go.
You're the host.
Yep, I'm the host.
They finished their edit. I also have a group called Privacy. Yes. It's at of privacy. You can learn further.
Find out.
Yeah. We have everything. Anything right? We don't have to get anything.
I need to know about that.
I don't really promoted that.
Okay. All right.
It's like secret.
Guys, I want to thank our sponsors, Zano. I want to thank $1 I want to thank
Yes, and we have to drink, so we'll put some.
everybody else. Shout out to this guy.
Bro, you say you're.
No, that's good. You look better than I did.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're
Take
out of
another
here.
drink.
Next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Back to our normal program. I love you guys. Peace, 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 peace. Adios. You're good. Thank you.
Cryptocurrencies is for everybody, and they need to go head to head and compete with the US dollar and the euro and the yen and the ruble and everything else, because when people have more choices, their lives are better off, and it results in more economic freedom. More economic freedom results in more economic growth, and more economic growth raises everybody's standard of living, which literally makes every single person's life on the planet better off. And that's why it's such an exciting thing for me to be involved in. And that's why I'm doing it despite risking 109 years in federal prison for just telling people about these amazing ideas and technologies.
Why is Roger Ver facing 107 years?
And so Roger Ver, I've talked to him on the show before. I just spoke to him recently. They're trying to I don't know what the exact situation is. He's the next one I think Trump should be pardoning or commuting. They're accusing him of, they accused him of, this is a trick that the IRS does, which when I heard about this, I was shocked. They said his IRS form was fraudulent. Okay, fine. But because he mailed it, they added like 20 years of mail fraud.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Do you see how that works? Is that amazing?
Unbelievable.
So it's just like, let's suppose, for the sake, let's steel man it. His IRS tax form was a fraud. Fine. Milk him.
Yeah.
Pay
the fine.
Pay a huge fine.
He's offered to.
What is the benefit of putting him in? And the thing is like, if in terms of like it's going to incentivize other people, don't you want these rich people to pay these big fines? It's just a revenue generator for you. What is the incentive of putting him in jail for 20 years?
I'm actually pretty surprised because they like money. That's
right.
For sure.
Take the money. It's either you get a lot of money from these rich people, or you're paying for 20 years, put them in jail, helping no one.
Roger Ver is one of the pioneers of the crypto space.
Bitcoin Jesus. Leave it to the Biden administration to try to figure out a way to crucify Bitcoin Jesus.
My first thought is maybe it's not really about the taxes. Maybe there's something more to this story.
Roger Ver's not actually guilty by the letter of the law.
He did everything he possibly could to comply.
So they're using the tax system as a form of lawfare. As an example, don't you dare innovate.
Anybody knows what it's like to be the victim of lawfare. It's Trump.
Donald Trump. A pardon of Roger Ver would send a very powerful message. And if you want to make America great again, you need people like Roger.
We should be proud of our country. We should keep our best and our brightest. We shouldn't be chasing them out.
That's the stuff that all the U.S. propaganda wants you to believe goes on in Russia all the time.
Look at the evaluation of Mar-a-Lago case. Look at the New York cases. Look at the DC cases. Trump, you understand lawfare. People in this administration have a sensitivity to this and an awareness of this issue that has never been present in the executive branch before.
I feel like we're undergoing an emancipation from the financial terrorism that has so oppressed our best minds.
We want to see President Trump get rid of the lawfare agreement, as he was once victim of. A pardon, lifting of charges, whatever it takes. It's time to free Roger.
Free Roger. Free Roger. Free Roger.
Roger, Godspeed.
I want Donald Trump to issue a pardon for this man.
Free Roger. Free Roger. Free Roger.
Free Roger now.
For 3.5 years, the current administration has waged a war on crypto and Bitcoin like nobody's ever seen before. It has to stop, and it has to stop now.
This is Freedom Dollar, FUSD, the world's first privacy-focused stablecoin built on the Zano blockchain. Unlike traditional stablecoins, FUSD is decentralized, censorship-resistant, and private by default. Each FUSD is over-collateralized with Zano and pegged to the US dollar using a decentralized algorithm. There's no CEO, no company, no central authority. FUSD is governed entirely by open source code and community consensus. Anyone can run a market-making node to help maintain the peg and further decentralize the network. All collateral and peg data are transparently published and verifiable at freedomdollar.com. CBDCs and corporate stablecoins can be frozen, tracked, and censored. FUSD can't. Use FUSD to spend, save, or transfer stable value without giving up your freedom. Freedom Dollar, private, stable, unapologetically unbanked. freedomdollar.com.
Mr. Mayweather, come on in. So, Mr. Mayweather, I believe you want to make a deposit?
That's correct.
Okay. I just need you to sign here, and we're ready to go.
Okay.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange faced up to 175 years in prison.
Sent in tanks and men with guns, and they set the entire place on fire.
20 children were killed.
Actually, I think I'm going to hold off for now. This is great, dude. I'm up over 100%, and I'm not paying for Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio, Israel's wars, or any of the welfare.
Are you kidding me?
No, I swear to God. Check this out.
No way. You're making a killing. You know what, Sal? You gotta show me how you did that.
It's easy. I did it with Zano, a completely private, open-source cryptocurrency that actually scales and enables tokenized assets, aliases, and has a built-in private messenger app, DEX, and ionic swaps.
Here's to financial freedom.
Cheers.
Sláinte.